Oh my god, I never put the audio sources into this thing. I did all that work, and I forgot to put the audio sources in. Holy shit. I'm so dumb. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's there now.
That does explain why there's no audio.
Now there's audio, okay? The good thing is we didn't talk about anything yet.
No, we haven't
My
talked about
stream is
anything.
going to be very loud for a bit, so turn down the volume. I played the game through the Pixel Remaster. While we're talking about this, I'm going to be playing through the 3D version on Steam.
We'll get to that afterward. Give me a second.
This cutscene.
We'll get to that afterward. We will get to that after we're done talking about Final Fantasy.
It was on sale.
We have to do GameClub stuff first, then we can talk about whatever afterwards.
I do need to adjust the audio.
Yeah, GameClub is the important part.
But anyway, focus now. So let me do the episode proper. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of LGG. We're doing GameClub tonight, and then I'm gonna be having other game stuff in the background. I need to lower the audio of this game a little bit. There we go. It is very loud in my ears.
Sonic Advance 2?
1.
Oh, okay.
But while we're doing that, most likely I'm going to be on and off messing with this while shit's actually going on, but we'll still be talking. Anyway, let's see. This game is very loud. This game's still too damn loud. Game's still too damn loud.
This 3D intro is pretty cool.
Oh, you never seen the intro for the thingy?
Yeah, for the
some of this I
DS
don't
version.
recognize. And I just beat the game.
I think there was extra content in the DS version.
Okay, there we go. Now the game audio is not going to drown you guys out. Alrighty, here we go. Alright. Okay, everybody. We are talking about the third installment of the Final Fantasy franchise, Final Fantasy III. First of all, your initial thoughts or something? You know, I'm just gonna
normally
keep
Omni
these
leads
questions
this
written
because
down.
it's like his thing. So
I'm just gonna write down these questions.
yeah, Omni, go ahead and lead it. Like it's your thing. So
All right. Well, sorry, I was watching the video. The Crystal Tower is in 3D. Although I've been in the Crystal Tower many times at this point, I guess.
fuck the Crystal Tower.
Yeah.
Screenshot that.
Julian, where were you gonna start? Just so I'm aware. What did you want to start with?
Well, I was just gonna start with general consensus on the game.
Oh yeah. Usually I ask Scott first, but I'll ask you this time first. Let me start here. So Final Fantasy III is the third game in the franchise. It was not the original Final Fantasy III that came to the United States. This one came over much later. But it's essentially you play as these four youths. They encounter a crystal. It gives them the ability to change their jobs in game,
job classes.
and that leads them on an adventure where darkness is overwhelming the balance of light and dark, and they're going to counter that by defeating the darkness and bringing balance back. So that's where we're sitting. So Julian has played this game more than either of us. So Julian, where do you start on this game? How do you feel in this game?
Okay.
In general.
In general, I love Final Fantasy III. I actually do enjoy. I've enjoyed what I played before. My only issue with Final Fantasy III is when you get to the end of it. Is the only issue.
And I'm guessing that's more of a specific than a general. Why do you love this game so much?
I love the job. I just love the job system and how some of them look and like the ideas that it came up with for it. It's just so great. And then I enjoyed seeing where like these in the version I first played was a DS version where they had characters, which wasn't really much of a character. Let's be real.
I mean, they still have names in the original Famicom one.
Yeah, it's Onion Kid. It's Onion Kid, and then you give them names.
They were named through the manga.
Lunith.
They're named Moochie, Doug, J. Bowie, and Melfi.
That is not the names I'm seeing here.
No. In the DS remake, they were called Lunith, fucking Arc, Rhea, and Loser.
Refia.
Refia and Loser. Yeah, loser.
I'm playing through the 3D version while we're here. Is it showing up on my stream though?
I don't know. Let me check.
Uh,
It just has resume, pause. Nothing's going on right now.
okay. I gotta fix this real quick.
But and then also like, even though
There you go.
it's not very megalomaniacal villain character
It is?
like it
Okay,
was
thank
in
you for
fucking
your-
like it was in the games that I played, where with like when I the Final Fantasy games I first played, like 7 and 10 and 10 2. I played all these games in like 12. I played all those games before this one came out. But it was, simple and nothing crazy about it. And like I said, my biggest draw was the job system. I just love the different jobs you could pull off in it. And then
oh, good.
yeah, and then replaying it on the NES version was a chore. I'm surprised that anybody who ever played this on the NES version liked this game.
You mean Famicom? It
Famicom?
never came out to the NES.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the same difference.
So you love this game, and we'll get more into the job system because I do want to explain that. But generally, how do you feel about this game, Scott?
It's not bad. Like, I played a little. My history with this is I played a bit of the DS version back in the day and then dropped it. Not because I hated it, just because other things popped up, and that was kind of it. You'll find that to be the fact for a lot of Final Fantasies as we move forward with GameClub Final Fantasy ones. But I enjoyed this one. It was nice to see the job class system. But I do have some major issues with this game that we'll be talking about later. Like, there are things that hold this game back from being better than Final Fantasy, 2 for me. If I was going to go back to the NES, Famicom Final Fantasies, it'd be 2 over 3. Any day of the week. As much as I love the job class system, there's 3 other major issues that just hold this game back so hard for me to really enjoy replaying.
Okay. I didn't like this game I didn't really like this game at first. When I played through the first half and by the end of it, I kind of had my opinion kind of cemented, but in the second half it really did pick up a lot of momentum and it really narrowed down its focus. I feel like this game, I can't speak for the writers or the writing room or anything like that, but it feels more like an anime season than it does a coherent game plot, in that you're kind of just shoved into because the characterization is not very good in in the game presented in itself. They put a lot more focus in gameplay, and I'm going to get into that as well. But character wise, they don't really have any details that are shared or about them or anything like that. So they're really just an empty vessel for the player, and they kind of just go around and do things, right? And by the end, it all sort of comes together. But the first half of it, to compare it to Final Fantasy II, you're immediately shown that they're a family, they're a unit, they lost somebody, they were almost killed, chased away from their home, they took on this quest on their own. And this one is just they fell in a cave and were told they're special and to go do this thing, and then they went and did it. And it just goes from thing to thing to thing to thing. And the first half of it is very, very bland. But I did, by the end of it, I did enjoy my time with it, and I liked the game world a lot. I liked the setting, I liked the world, and I liked the sort of conceit of the game. But even by the end of it, I did not care for the characters. I did not care for the heroes. It's probably on the bottom of my list of Final Fantasy games, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad game. It's just that there are other games I'd rather play than Final Fantasy 3 in general. But I think we all kind of fit in different spots in this. So knowing that you love the job system the most, Julian, would you care to explain the job system?
Okay, so the job system in Final Fantasy 3 is essentially where every time, as the plot moves along, since from at a certain point in the plot, you'll get the power from this crystal, and essentially this crystal gives you like a couple job classes, fucking warrior, black mage, healer, and I forget the fourth at the top of my brain. Monk. Okay. And then you essentially it allows you to use have certain better skills and say with warrior you could use like fucking swords and axes a lot better than you could before when you were just a basic mercenary character, because that's what you start as. A freelancer, sorry, I said mercenary, it's freelancer.
You start as Onion Knight.
Yeah. Well, pretend Onion Knights.
Freelancer. No, it is considered Onion Knight. Freelancer doesn't exist until Final Fantasy V.
Well, in the DS remake they changed
Onion
it.
Knight.
Well, they changed it in the remakes.
The Pixel remaster calls it Onion Knight.
They put it back to Onion Knight.
Onion Knight.
Okay.
Yes.
But Onion Knight has its own.
Called Onion Knight.
But Onion Knight has its own thing, which is even stronger.
Until Final Fantasy V. Onion Knight does not exist in this game other than as that first job class. That is only in the DS game, Julian.
Okay.
Right. That is not in the actual game.
I'm going to interrupt and sort of get this out there. Because of the history of this game, there's a lot of, I don't want to say controversy, that's probably not the right word, but a lot of confusion on sort of the translations and what's official and what's not official. I feel like going by the Pixel remaster, since it's the most recent release of this, is probably the way to go, but I'm not going to go out and about it if you use an older term or even the Japanese term or whatever it may be. But even now, when I'm playing the 3D version on Steam right now on stream, they call it Freelancer. Lunith is the Freelancer.
They named him Freelancer, or changed it because Freelancer was introduced in Final Fantasy V, as the base class.
But
so
even
Final
in
Fantasy 3, when they remade the game for the DS, they went by that because they also introduced Onion Knight as an actual class you had to unlock as the ultimate job class.
Yeah, so I'm fine with either term. I will say that I think in Dissidia he was the 3 protagonist was an Onion Knight as well. And
because it went from the original Final Fantasy 3, not from the DS. The DS one is a completely separate entity that is never referenced ever again.
And then in Final Fantasy 14, the armor you get is the Onion Knight armor.
Which they give to the Dragoons for some reason, which is what?
Oh, they give it to the Dragoon.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, there is a generic Onion Knight set in that game, but it's man.
You can't dye it, so I don't care.
Exactly. No, that's why no one cares, and no one has it because you can't dye it, and it only looks good on Lalafels anyway.
They would be very cute on a Lalafell, the big helmet.
I just keeps adding questions, and I'm.
So I want to add a little bit more to the job system, which is that this is sort of an evolution, and this is going to be something that I'm probably going to bring up multiple times. But I've played 1, 2, 3, and 4 within the last year to completion and all achievements and all that. I think I need to play 5 to sort of make sure that my theory cements itself.
Yeah, which we'll do eventually for GameClub. But
I feel like 6 is probably where they perfected it, and in the sense that 1, 2, 3, 4, they take huge leaps, they overcorrect in the things that they mess up. So for 1, they had a very solid Dungeons and Dragons story. They were obviously very inspired by AD&D from spell counts and spell slots and things like that. But they were still going by the rules of the time, so magic wasn't really that powerful. So then they thought, okay, we're gonna make Final Fantasy its thing in 2, and so they changed a lot of systems in 2. And it became extremely unique in and of itself. Even among the Final Fantasy games, 2 it has its own leveling thing, and it gets rid of traditional levels and all that stuff. So they made an overcorrection. They were like, we want to go away from AD&D, we want to make our own thing, and they made they really experimented. But they also made an amazing story. They really focused on the narrative, and they landed that, even if the gameplay itself wasn't the best. And then you go to 3, where they have a plot, very generic. They have very empty characters, but they went back and they really expanded on the job system, because the job system was in the first game, but it became much better and much more expanded in this game.
Well, and you could also actually change jobs, because in the original Final Fantasy, it was a job, and all it could do was evolve into the better one by doing the Bahamut stuff. But that was it. Like, you could not be like, man, this job class is not working out. Let me swap to another, without restarting the game.
And then in 4, they get rid of the job system completely, but they get rid of the ability to change jobs and instead attach jobs to characters in order to bring, they give the characters depth and personality and stuff. So again, they overcorrect themselves again, because in 2 it was really dark. Just like every NPC was dying, and then you go to this one and basically nobody dies, and then you go back to 4 and they start having death. Kinda, they sort of balance out a bit.
There's people that die, but yeah, it wasn't as many as 2, but
it's all written down.
Quite a few people still die in 4.
Yeah, there's only, well, like a lot of people you don't know. I mean, like named characters, but you do nuke an entire town if you want to go by death count.
Nah, even so, it had more named character deaths than most other Final Fantasies.
Because the only character that permanently
2 has like the most, obviously.
2 has a lot, but 4 was only Tella and the bad guys. Tella was the only, because they all survive if you make the right options. Yang survives, and Rydia survives, Palom and Porum survive, Sarah survives.
Yeah, they just kind of suddenly are alive. It's weird.
Jane survives.
But I know you have to do extra stuff for like Palom and Porum.
Yeah. If you play the game to completion, everybody survives except for Tella.
Yeah, but who cares about him?
But
he's old and kind of racist.
I swear there's other characters that help you out that still die.
Not really. Not when you.
I know it's been a while since I played, but I swear
Kane should have died,
other characters.
Nah, it really is very little. There's a lot of destruction and sort of fake outs, but very few deaths. 2 had by far the most named characters.
Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna argue that one. Like people were just introducing themselves and then immediately dying.
Yeah. So I feel like from 1 to 4, they're sort of they're like perfecting their art slowly but surely. And by the time they get to 6, because everybody talks about how amazing 6 is. I haven't played it before, but when we get to it, my expectations are super high. And then it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. And you feel however you feel about them. But in terms of the original, like 2D games, it feels like they are evolving and growing. And this one, I think, was probably, in terms of evolution, the lowest step, because it was kind of other than the job system being really fun, there wasn't a whole lot really interesting in this game. But 4 is when they really start to hone in on character and narrative a lot more, and they introduced the ATB system, so I'm excited to see how that plays in 5 and 6 as well. Now, that being said, how did you feel about the job system in 3, Scott? We haven't heard your opinion on the job system here.
I enjoyed it. I didn't use it as much. Like Final Fantasy 5 is when I really start like experimenting around and playing around with a lot more of the jobs.
Because that's when you can.
Well, yeah. This one, I'm gonna be honest, I only used like 4 job classes the entire game, because most of them are kind of pointless.
Well, you most likely use 5 because Bard they force you to do it at one point.
Bard is pretty much just pointless.
Bard is pointless.
Geomancer is pointless. Thief is almost pointless.
Until they
Scholar is pointless.
Until they force it on you.
Evoker and Summoner are also really pointless until like near the end of the game.
When you actually have summons.
Well, and even then Evokers only have like a 50% chance, I think it was, of actually summoning.
You're gonna kill me?
So like Summoner was the good one, and even then the only summon you get until like the end of the game is like Chocobo.
Die.
So
I mean, you can get other ones. You just have to fucking do a lot of unnecessary shit to go find them.
Yeah, you've got to go hunt them all down and stuff like that. And it's like
almost like Scholars 14, Dampiers. All right, so
whoa! Don't talk about Scholars in 14. They're way more useful than in 3. Don't you dare! I'll cut you, Pierce.
Oh, Ranger was another one that I'm like, I don't see the point of. Dragoon, I didn't see the point of.
Until they forced it
Okay.
on you.
So
But I will say that I appreciate having all of the options, and like, if I also, didn't have access back in the day before the internet,
do I have magic?
like
I
I
don't
would
have
have been experimenting with a lot more of these characters and stuff like that. Whereas now I can read and be like, wow, that character just sucks.
Here's said, let's fight
This is just a
Julian.
better version.
Scholar's my favorite healer in 14 as it stands today.
Fine,
I
square up.
can't- I
Meet me in the
can't- I don't-
freaking dueling
Scholar
arenas.
used to be my main as well, but I don't remember. Like there was such a gap between when I played before and when I play now that I don't even remember the differences. So I'm going to I don't want to say counter, but I'm going to add some context to Scott's opinion in that he and I play the game very similarly in that there's very little system experimentation and a lot more grinding. Where we just go through the battles using the most efficient way of leveling, and then we get levels and our numbers sort of carry us. That being said, I did play around with some of the jobs, and some jobs did feel less useful, but some of them that you mentioned like carried me through the game. I played Dragoon a lot, I played Thief a lot, and Summoner was hella powerful, but only when I learned the magic system. The magic system in 3 is incredible because as you level up your job, you get more spell slots. The big problem with magic in 2 and 1 was your limitation in how many casts you have. But in 3,
not in 2.
You
2 used MP.
Yeah, it used
You had the
MP,
standard
but
MP system.
But you had to level your magic to make it useful, and you had to use these super weak spells a lot until they got to a level where you could use them, which was usually 9, 10, 11. And it took a lot to get them there.
You still had to do pretty much the same in this.
Yeah.
Because you had to level up your job class.
No, because all you have to do is learn a level 7 spell, and you'll get let me finish, man. You'll get like 9 of them. And then you also learn a level 6 spell, a level 5 spell, a level 4. And this is how I played it. I would use up all of my spells at level 7, and then I would use a slightly weaker version and use all of my spells at level 6. So at any given time, I had 40, 50 casts, which was more than enough for me to do my leveling, go back and heal up, do more leveling, go to a dungeon, go to a leveling. And you just use high level spells, and then as you run out, you just go slower and lower.
Yeah.
That's how that. And then as you level up, you'll come back. Before, when you had 9 level 7 spells, now you have 13. Now you have 18. Now you have 20. And you just and then it becomes like you just have basically unlimited casts.
I hate the fact that you don't have MP healing items in this game at all, other than like the elixirs.
The elixir, yeah, you don't need them. The way that the game is balanced, you don't need them.
You definitely do.
You don't. You said that did you use a magic caster?
Yeah, I used a black and a white mage.
Yeah, you don't need them. Like in terms of getting through the game, you do not need them.
I basically had to not use MP for especially the final dungeon, the fucking Crystal Tower. Having to go through that whole front dungeon and the entire tower, and then also saving the MP to do against all of the different various bosses, because in order to heal, you have to go all the way out through 4 dungeons
when
to
you
go
play
heal
the
your
final
MP.
Dungeon, when you play the final dungeon, and you free the Warriors of Darkness, those crystals they're freed from, you can
at that point,
your,
yes.
Yeah.
Even
but
before
that,
going to the top of the Crystal Tower, you had doing Eureka and all of that, you could not do that.
I did. I did. Look, I have my game pulled up. Look at this.
When you go to Eureka, you do it before you free the dark people.
Yeah, I did
so
it.
So you don't have access to those. Those
I
crystals.
had enough spells. Yeah. When I did that first, I used hold on. I have my game open right now. Before I switched,
because I was running out of MP left and right.
No, I was red mage.
That was
I got red mage. I got red mage to level 99, and then my other caster was Ginger, and she was a. I had her swap between thief and white mage.
Did you call it
devout? Yeah, so the way I named my characters was it was me, Omni, and then Lola, who was my first ever dog, Bubba, who was my first ever pet bird, and Ginger, who's one of my cats. And by the time I got to Eureka and all that, I had hold on, go back to my magic. The way that it works here, I have 41 level 1 spells, 26 level 2 spells, 18 level 3, 14 level 4 spells, 9 level 5 spells as a red mage. And then once I got the job to summoner, I go back to my magic. I had 83 level 1 spells, 33 level 2, 33 level 3, 4, 5, 28 level 6 spells, 20 level 7 spells, 14 level 8 spells. If you play and this is what I wanted to get to about the gameplay and why the second half was much better than the first half of the game. If you take the time to play the game the way it's intended to play, you have so many options that the job system really lives and breathes. Magic.
My healer has what, 35 level 1s. Even level 8s, I only have 8. 9 cast level 7.
8 is plenty. 8 is plenty.
That was not plenty for like an actual revive or
because you don't use revives, you use Phoenix Downs. Yeah, Holy's very powerful.
I get 8 of them, and then you have to like exit the entire dungeon.
No, and then you do your level 7 spells. Do you have any level 7 spells?
Isuna, Reflect, and Kiraja.
Those aren't attack spells. You should have had Eroga or Aurora or whatever it's called.
Eroga is level 6. Because I have it on my level 6 spells.
Well, yeah, then don't use level 7. Just go to 6. That's what I did. I have 27 Erogas.
Well, I was using those for haste. So
I have haste on there as well. You only need to use 4 haste. In fact, you don't even need to use haste.
Oh no, haste was how it increases the damage dealt by your physical attackers.
Now that's a great bonus. You're right. That was necessary.
That was how I was beating bosses.
I did it without it. We play, and so here's another thing, because I don't want to argue with you about this. All right? I know I'm not wrong, and I know you're not wrong. Other than you didn't see what I saw. You can play this different ways. And remember, I had 2 casters, 2 physical, and my physicals were Thief and Dark Knight. And Dark Knight was just damage. It was absolutely nothing special. I just thought he looked cool, and I liked his weapons. For my Thief, I had the ranged boomerang thing, and I forget what it was. But they were strong enough on their own, and they had the speed already that I didn't need to buff them in any real way. They were all heavy hitters. So when I ran out of Holies, I would go to Eroga, and then even if that ran out, I would go to Arrow to use for damage because I knew my other 3 could cover the damage that I'm missing. So they all sort of balance together. And again, the second half of this game is where all that stuff starts to fit together, and you have a lot more options in this game. The characters are still basically nothing, but
I also really despise how often you had to use Mini and Toad at the beginning, which required using spell charges back in the early game where you really didn't have a ton of spell charges.
Mm-hmm.
You could use the spell to turn into it, and then you could use an item to turn back if you didn't want to use a second spell.
Yeah, but then you had to spend money on the item, which I'm
thing.
fine because because we were using boosts.
Yeah.
But if you aren't, money is a big thing. Because even the other thing is too, healing in dungeons, actual HP healing, also requires either a bunch of spell charges or going through a ton of items.
In 1 and 2, this game, I changed nothing about healing in dungeons, because even in 1 and 2, if you played the way that I played, which was doing a lot of leveling and grinding, you earn money pretty naturally. So I didn't use boost in those games. You never really were in a position where you were out of... I mean, in theory, you could be, but I wasn't playing in theory. I was playing the actual game, and I was never in a position where you needed money. And in this game...
I know in this one, you also have to buy, the spells, and enough for both, depending on how many magic users you have.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of money on spells and equipment, but I didn't need most of it. If I was playing the game without boost, and I was watching where I was spending, then I would say, okay, This job, I would say, like, this is how I would play if I wasn't using the boost. I would save before I enter the shop, go and buy the equipment that I need, test out the equipment in a battle, load my save up if it wasn't good, and then get my money back. That's what I would do if it was Omni back, before these boosts, and I was just thinking. So annoying, maybe, but not impossible to get through. And I feel like if I was playing this without boost, this gameplay would shine even brighter because there are jobs to level and strategies to use where they aren't quite as focused on damage. Damage is the meta in this game. And I'll show, for example, these jobs, Scholar, Bard, Ranger.
I still stand by Geomancer is absolutely pointless.
I never played Geomancer. I guess they use the bell, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What does the bell do?
It attacks.
Man, a bell that can paralyze enemies. Let's look at their status. Geomancer. Their highest stat is intellect, so they're supposed to be casting. Maybe do they cast? White spells or black spells or summon?
I'm trying to remember. They have their own. They have their own set of things that do.
They attack by turning the natural surroundings and drawing out the latent powers of the area around them.
So essentially, it
in the game. What do they do?
Essentially, it draws out.
It has various effects depending on the current environment.
Mm-hmm. If you're in
on plains or a cave, it's an earthquake.
I'm just gonna get into a fight.
Cave in or mountain is cave in. Underwater is water spout. Forest
they're like
is
sorcerers.
Yeah, like old school D&D.
But it depends on what you're standing on, and their accuracy. If you're in a forest, their accuracy is 30% of a hit rate. That's their hit rate is 30%.
These things are gonna die. Terrain. They use Cyclone. I get the hit. It does 841 damage, which is on the low end of magic spells. Probably a level 3 spell.
Yeah, it's very
but it's unlimited.
Situational, but you get a lot of them. But the only problem is in dungeons.
The problem is
it's not very good.
I could see.
And it can also backfire, in which it cuts your HP by 20% of maximum.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only had one option when I was just in a fight.
No, it will. That's a random thing when you hit terrain.
So I have to hit him with a regular attack?
No, when you use terrain,
it's random. It's a random effect.
Yes.
So it's a chance
based on where you're at. Let's say, for instance, river. If you're standing in a river, right? It will either do rapids or it will backfire. Those are the options.
So then I'll say this about Geomancer: I would never use it or become a main in it or anything. But
it does just as a quick thing. The certain abilities like rapid, sinkhole, or desert. So if you're desert, swamp, or river, the backfire rate is extremely high. So the odds are more likely that it's going to backfire, and if it does hit, then it's a 30. Or if it does use the ability, it's a 30% chance of it actually hitting the enemy.
Yeah. I will say that job is probably the start of chance in Final Fantasy, because as the franchise progresses, you always get a job or a character that is a chance-based character that can be really good, can be really bad. I usually ignore them. Like I ignored Kate Sith, I ignored Riku, I ignore anything that uses items to run a roulette, things like that. But that doesn't mean they're not in there. That doesn't mean that they're not.
Riku doesn't run a roulette. Riku just
the reason I say that this one is bad is because it depends on the terrain, which means that you're not always going to get what you actually need for the enemies, and especially in like a boss fight or something like that. Some of these abilities would be very pointless compared to just having a black mage or just having a red mage or a physical. Like, why take a 30% chance to hit an enemy with quicksand when you could just hit them with whatever spell you want to hit them with as a black mage?
Yeah,
like
that's
why... There's other classes that do. There's nothing that this one does uniquely that other characters can't do much better.
Yeah, that's why I go back to what I said earlier, where this game, the meta is damage. If you have a job that can output damage quickly, that's going to be preferable to just about anything else. That's probably why I loved Holy and I loved Bahamut summons so much, because they were just huge damage. I didn't know, fucking I switched over from Thief to Ninja when I unlocked Ninja.
Ninja's great.
Yeah, Ninja regular attack does 5,000 damage. If you throw a shuriken, on my stats, it was doing 7,000 to 8,000. Like every time I threw a shuriken, it was insane.
Yeah, throw with him is, especially the shuriken, is like, that's the meta.
Yeah,
That's how
you
do-
were not
like
you.
shuriken is the strongest item in the game. Like that is the strongest damage you can deal in the game. is
You
throwing
were
shuriken.
not beating the original without having it. I'm just gonna say that right.
Yeah, that's why they give you X amount of them. And then they have where if you finish Eureka, you can actually buy them, but they're fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some of these jobs do not shine because they're more utility or gimmick than they are damage.
Yeah, I think they were cool ideas. They're just kind of pointless, and they're refined in later games in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me
Like,
actually,
this is the first one that introduces them.
hold on, I'm gonna show something crazy here. I need to quit this game though and open up a different game. Where is it?
I also think that, like, part of me is like a little rough on some of these because like Evoker is just a worse version of Summoner. Like, so once you get Summoner, there's no point in going back to Evoker.
I had bias against Evoker.
And you get Evoker so late in the game.
I had bias against Evoker because I played Final Fantasy IV before I played Final Fantasy III. And in Final Fantasy IV, Rydia's summons felt like trash to me. I did, some of them were powerful, but because they were, the elemental was so important, I needed prior knowledge to make the most of them. But once I actually started using summons in this game, and I got that the system worked the way that it did for you to just use up your spells, it was demolishing everything. It was so strong.
Yeah, once you get some of the later summons, they're pretty powerful. Some of the earlier stuff's not super great. Like, it's not bad, but it's not super great. But once you start getting like Odin, Leviathan, Bahamut,
yeah, like
also, even
also,
Titan is really good.
If you were going for the achievements and stuff, you would have gotten those anyway.
Yeah, it's annoying. You also have to teach them to to. I think it's a specific person. Like, you can't have them taught to multiple characters.
I never tried that. I only had one person that learned all of them, which was Lola for me. So I never experimented with that, but I didn't have an issue with that. But I was gonna say, if you missed the finding them, there was a shop where you could just buy the last three: Odin, Bahamut, and Leviathan.
I thought you had to actually get them first, and then they would show up in that shop.
I don't know about that, but I found them. I found them first, and then I found the shop. Let's see.
There's some that you can. First you have to find most of them, and then you end up eventually getting the shop.
Because I think that the shop. I think the shop is just so that you can get them for other characters, because you can only ever get one from actually fighting them. So once you fight them and get the first one, it's like, oh well, here's a shop where you can buy the other ones. Like, I don't think if you didn't fight Odin, he would be at the shop.
So we do talk about some of the jobs being like a little bit extra or sort of gimmicks or not really being exactly what you needed. I opened up Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, and you have so many jobs. And the other game that I can think of, if you download it on mobile, Final Fantasy, not Brave Exvius, the other one, the one that's basically tactics. That one
or the Lions.
Hundreds of
jobs. No.
It's crazy. But look, so you got these jobs: sword fighter, swordsman, wandering hero. These are jobs: pugilist, marauder, mage, duelist. And then in the game you have sub jobs: divine commander, demon slayer champion, conqueror, lightbreaker champion, martial master, iron fist champion, axe lord, blood axe, cutthroat. Like, this game started a huge trend in this franchise of just having these ancillary jobs that sort of have this one little extra bonus, but they are technically a different job. So as we go through the games, I'm certain we're gonna keep running into jobs that are useless. But that's just That's just gonna be a Final Fantasy thing. Bugalist. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Well,
and I'm
well,
not
except
saying
for
that it's not just about like.
Well,
it's
except
just
for
one of those
14,
things
it's
that
pretty much
always kind of bugs
your
me.
preference, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's going to be just one of those things that always bugs me. Like, the only reason Evoker specifically bugs me is because of how late you get it. Because, like, Warrior, it's like, oh, yeah, you know, Warrior, you get Knight, which is just a better version of Warrior. You know, or White Mage and Black Mage versus Magus and Devout. Like, but at least there's a big difference between when you get them. Like, those are the early game ones versus, like, you get Evoker and then, like, a few dungeons later you get Summoner. And it's like, cool. Like, 2 dungeons later, I got the much better version. So, what was the point of really using Evoker for that?
I think you have to look at the game in context of when it came out, because I'm pretty sure these kids didn't have as many options as we do. So when they got Final Fantasy 3, it was like all 3, all day, all the time. And so when they had the job, they were like, I want to get this job leveled. I want to beat the game doing this, that, and the other. And then, and so they probably got the most out of it. Us these days, though, we're not going to appreciate that shit. I don't got time for that shit. Put me on the boost.
Yeah.
I don't
Now, I
need
know
that.
when we get to 5, I feel like it does a really good evolution of the job class system to make some of those classes actually more useful.
As someone
But
said,
we'll get
it's a
to that
better Final
eventually.
Fantasy 3.
But no, like, my bigger issues with this game, if I'm gonna just mention it, is the final dungeon I thought was just too fucking long without a way to save before you save the Dark Heroes, a way to heal and stuff like that. Because I was constantly running out of healing items, and then would have to, like, leave the dungeon.
Now, before we get to that, there is one thing I did want to talk about.
Yeah, sure. What is it?
And the reason why it makes it so made it so difficult to do. I don't know. I'm gonna ask because I didn't get a chance to really get through the Pixel remaster very quickly because I didn't have time to, because I didn't buy it till literally last week. So, I didn't really get a chance to really get to the point where I could change jobs to see if there's a problem. Job sickness.
No.
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so in the original Final Fantasy 3, and then also to an extent
DS.
in the DS version, there is essentially a point where you switch jobs. You can't just be good at it as soon as you switch it. You have to wait.
Get punished for changing job classes.
Yeah, you have to wait a certain many battles. You have to get to before you start actually being able to use it. Or then, even if you've already used it before, you have to wait a certain many battles before you're efficient at it again. Like, if you change your Black Mage into an Evoker just to try it out, guess what? If you change it back to Black Mage, it's not gonna have access to its level 2 spells. It's only gonna have access to level 3 spells for a certain amount of time.
They really punish you
also,
for actually, like, experimenting.
Yes, and it's also dependent on your level. If you have it, if it's a certain level, if your Black Mage is a really high level and you switch out of that, congratulations. The next job sickness is gonna take you 10. The maximum is like 10 freaking battles before it becomes efficient at it again. And it was awful.
Yeah, that's one thing that thankfully they got rid of.
Yeah, because the Pixel remaster finally lets people actually try these things out, which sounds amazing because. I liked Dragoon in 3.
Yeah, I did too.
It
didn't stand out like some others, but it was I like Jump.
Jump was useful, especially since I could, like, when I was low on health, I could get my fucking hand-to-hand person's dumbass out of the way so he wouldn't get hit. And except for the fact when they force you to use it, it's like. It's good because like no, everybody has to be one or you die, because that's the one thing about 3 I wasn't really happy about the original. They fixed that in the remake a little bit, but it wasn't completely better. It's like, because in the original game you get to the boss fight with the Garuda and you have to use the jump. It's like, okay, I'll just you'll strategically think, oh, I'll just have like. These 3 characters use jump and then fucking have a white mage that has access to arrow, which is, good against fucking flying enemies. And then also they can heal. No, you don't do that. You play by our rules or you die. If you don't have all of them jumping, the white mage will die, and it will fuck up the entire thing because now you gotta res them with your items, and it's like, oh, guess what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking make you jump again, nerd. It's like, oh wait, that's one character who can't jump, and then the whole thing just falls apart into fucking pieces, and it's sad, and I hated it.
Wow.
But you know.
I never heard of that before, so I looked it up. I want to read this to explain it because I was thinking there has to be a reason why they did it, even if it's not a good one. Like I want to understand.
Oh, for job sickness?
Yeah, the job is they officially call it the job adjustment phase. So the job adjustment phase is a game balancing system designed to keep the player from rapidly switching jobs without consequences. This could make the game much easier by giving all characters access to healing or other beneficial spells outside of combat, which I did. Since the length of the phase depends on job level, it is also a way to encourage the player to use a wide variety of jobs rather than switching to them only when needed, such as making a character a thief just long enough to pick a lock and then switch them back to their previous job. While under the effects of the job adjustment phase, all 5 of a character's primary stats are reduced by approximately 12.5%. The reduced stats are indicated by yellow numbers instead of white and will return to normal after a requisite number of battles has been fought. And then they have a chart showing how many battles you gotta fight.
Yeah, I think the max is 10.
They only show 4, but I could be reading this chart
the
wrong.
DS one goes up to 10. It's 2, 4, 6, and 10.
Because I remember, the DS
I,
version vividly about that one.
Because someone on the DS message boards was asking about it, and they go, like, what is it? And someone goes, their main stats are lowered during the duration of the job transition phase, which is 2, 4, 6, or 10 battles, depending on the level of your job.
Yeah. Well, kudos to the GameFAQs kid.
So. Yay, GameFAQs being somewhat helpful.
So, this game, and thank you for the sub, Saralina. Wow, thank you. Hello.
Hey.
I hope you appreciate the ad-free content now. We're just doing the game club for Final Fantasy 3. Once we're done, I'll go back to public chat if you're still awake. What was I gonna say? This game inspired a lot of stuff. Because not only there's the obvious inspiration from all this into the raid series in Final Fantasy 14, but I do see even the world setting kind of inspired Wind Waker, with the world above, the world below, like that. I don't know what game maybe did this particular thing before, but this feels like one of the first ones, and I like that setting a lot. I like that the continent above had its own lore, and I really enjoyed the world building in this game. Even the
I know Dragon Quest would even eventually do it. So.
God, I hate this fucking stage.
I don't think I'm at those Dragon Quest.
Damn it, Sonic Adventure 1.
I think it was 5 or 6.
5 or 6. It's got to be 6. Well, 6 is. They went down the time travel route, or not the generational time like bullshit. Remember that they had kids in 5, and I don't know what they're gonna do.
6 was. Then it must have been 6. I know a Dragon Quest. If Zonex was here, he'd tell you. But sure. I know one of the Dragon Quest does this concept as well, with the upper and lower worlds, where you find out that you're on a smaller portion, which was neat. Although that does bring me to my other big annoyance with this, which I know this is nitpicky to an extent, but it is painfully annoying to me. Is the fact that you have 2 airships and you have to constantly switch between them. Because it's like, oh no, you gotta go underwater now for this dungeon, so now you gotta figure out where you left the other ship, and then you have to go and park the airship that can fly over everything there,
because the
so that you can then go pick this one up to go underwater to the one dungeon you need to go to, and then come back up, and then go over and have to navigate through a bunch of mountains, because this one can't go over any mountains, and then park that, and then get back to the ship that you're actually wanting to fly. And it's like, why couldn't we finish all of the stuff with the one airship, and then swap to the other one?
Bravely Default spoiled us.
Why did I have to still go back to that airship? That's what annoys me.
I'm gonna bring up a couple things. One, I'm gonna fight you a little bit when you say constantly. It doesn't happen.
Twice.
It doesn't happen. Like, it's not required more than a handful of times, and then if you want to get everything, it's a little bit more. But most of the time, you're just in your big airship. And then was it 2 or 3? Because I thought the first one was destroyed. I thought it was the High Wind, the Invincible, and the...
There's only 2 that that are always on the map. It's the Nautilus and the Invincible.
The Nautilus, yeah. So the High Wind, the Nautilus,
the
and
other
the Invincible
ones
are in there.
The other ones go away.
Destroyed. Yeah, the first one's destroyed. Spoiler alert, I guess.
Spoiler alert for like the first half an hour of the game.
Honestly, it just dies so quickly. It's like does it really
crash
matter?
into a rock.
Because you're children and you're stupid.
But no, like then you get the one ship that I feel the hit detection on also floating over, like where it can just go over some of the mountains, is really rough. There was like some of the, or that one where you have to go through like the maze of the mountains.
I'll show the maze. Once
And,
you have
like,
your head wrapped around
some
it,
of the
it's
hit
not too bad.
detection, like, because I'm flying towards where it's supposed to be, and like it's not letting me through, and then finally it's like, oh no, you were a pixel off. I'm sorry. You
What?
can go over to that area.
Oh, you can do that. Why did you do that though?
God,
What?
Stupid.
I'm okay. So here I am. You can't see my controller, but what I'm doing here. Okay, so on my stream, I'm holding down, and I will go over, and I'm holding up, and I'm going over. But now, if I just look at it, I hit the A button, and it does it automatically. I don't have to hold forward, and so you'll like get it just about every time. You just got to put yourself in the general
'cause
area,
it's,
and it auto
The
adjusts.
Cave of Shadows.
Like, see,
Like,
and I'm just
was
pushing
such
A.
a pain in the ass to get to and get back from.
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't
okay. I would have
Enough
told you if
that
I'd
it
known.
made me stop playing, but it was enough that it was like, this is frustrating. Like when
Yeah.
when it shouldn't be. Like it's something that it's like, I feel the hit detection just was off on the original version, and they didn't fix it fully for the Pixel remaster.
Yeah, had I known you were having that annoyance, I would have given you help, because all you got to do is tap A.
But
And it adjusts.
other than that, like it was annoying to
It
me to
adjusts.
switch between the Nautilus and the Invincible.
Wait until you get farther in 4, my friend.
Well, yeah, I've beaten 4. Well, I'm sorry, I've gotten to the end of 4 before. And like
yeah,
that has issues as well. Like I'm not going to defend 4 on that either.
yeah, the 4 had a little bit of a fix, because you could pick up the smaller ship instead of having to
Which
But have to
yeah, I
land and go into
appreciate
another
that
one?
they tried, but it was not a full thing.
Yeah.
It was slightly better, but not amazing. Like I'm more of a fan of like just upgrade the airship that we have and just make that one better versus giving multiple airships.
Yeah, you and I are of the same mind, but it doesn't bother me as much in that we prefer convenience over immersion. I would rather have just the one button press or 2 button presses that get me what I need and where I need it, rather than like, you know, I have to get out of the big ship to go into the small ship, and then it has to get off the ground, it has to play these animations, and I have to push these extra buttons. I just want to do the thing.
Yeah, like why can't you be like, you know what? We just made a better engine on this airship that you have. Now it can travel over mountains. Cool.
Yeah.
Like just do that instead of being like, oh no, you know, be like, okay, we enclosed it. Now it can go underwater. Like cool, yeah, great. Like,
But I do think it was an immersion thing, if I'm being honest.
it probably was. It's just an annoyance to me. Like it didn't ruin my experience with the game. I still had fun. But it was like, really? Like when they're like, all right, go back into the Nautilus. I'm like, really? Like, fuck this. Like, you know?
It do be like that sometimes, though.
Yeah.
So in terms of characters, because I already mentioned that the characters are really nothing in my opinion. Julian, did you have any strong feelings about the characters or the people you interact with, or even your player character?
Well, even in like the remakes, it's like they don't really have. It's like their characters are basic as fuck. Characters are basic as fuck. There's nothing really like going on with their characters. Like the main characters, like who cares? Like some of the characters you meet are interesting. Like I like Desk.
Yeah. He's a bard. He's a bard ass bard if ever I seen one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's like, it's like, oh, they built up Arya so much, and then they're like, oh, nope, she's dead. heroic sacrifice. Sorry. It's like, you guys built her up like she was supposed to be this like huge thing, especially in the DS remake where they put her in the opening, and then suddenly it's like, nope, she's dead. She sacrificed herself for you. One dungeon gone. Bye.
She had way more impact than Sarah did, and Sarah's supposed to be your love interest. I can't speak for the remake, but
in the remake, it's only one character's love interest.
Yeah, that was really weird too, right? It's like, I love you, player character, and it's like all your homies are just right behind you. Like, can we watch? Or is this gonna be weird?
Is this gonna get weird?
Excuse me?
Especially since one of them's a girl. Especially since the remake, one of them's a girl. So it's like, you into that?
Like, it's just, it is weird on that.
There's
also the dude that like sacrificed himself and then has to come back and be like, yeah, I'm not actually dead, guys.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, but you don't know that you won't know that unless you like go out of your way to look. You think I just killed myself?
I'm gonna sort of call out. I'm pretty sure it's because of the time and limitations on the technology, but I do not like that there's not male and female versions of each job. Like if I have a more feminine or more masculine name, and then I choose white mage, it always gonna be a more feminine looking avatar.
That's not all inclusive of you, Omni.
Yeah. So it is, unfortunately, because of like limitations. Because I was looking at like the history of Final Fantasy 3, and they talked about like it literally filled the entire cartridge that it was on. Like there was zero space at all for anything. Which is why it ended up taking until the DS before it got a port of anything. But yeah, so it was just too full. Like they crammed it because of the job class system. It was too much for it to also have like 2 sprites for each job class, essentially.
Yeah. So I was assuming it was tech, but I really wanted there to be male and female avatars.
Yeah. Now, what I will say is, considering like according to the DS version, there's only one that is female. They could have just had that one be a different model, but again, it still requires the game to have 2 models.
Yeah, the memory.
Now, in that one, she does get a different look from the other characters. Actually, they all get distinct looks depending on their job classes. Like, it's slightly different on some of them. Like, some of them wear the hood, some of them don't. That's for the white mage, and that's pretty much it. And like, you know, she gets like, and like the female character's devout thing has like, she has just like legs. She has like leggings on, and it doesn't like not a full skirt or something because fucking whatever.
Another fun fact is that there's a shit ton of variations you can do for the job class. There are 14,950 different party combinations because of the 23 job classes.
Yeah, I believe that. If you can do that, what's that math equation where it's like to find the total number of combinations, it's 1 times 2 times
fucking know math.
A times whatever. I can't remember that formula, but like the fact that you have 4 characters and 18 jobs, it's a lot. It's a lot
23
of combinations.
jobs.
Or 23. It's a lot of jobs. It's a lot of combinations, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it is really cool what they were able to do with it, but yeah, they definitely crammed that game full. And that's also probably why story suffered, is that they couldn't probably fit more on there, to be honest. To have more text files, more everything else.
Yeah, because you don't even need. Compared to 2, you don't get as many overworld events either. Because in 2, there were towns that were literally destroyed, so they had to have sprites for the original town and the second town, and people that are hurting and people that aren't hurting. And there were more real, like, not real time, but like events that happen that you see on screen compared to this game. Which is why I go back to what I said at the start, which was that this game, they overcorrected in terms of getting the gameplay to be the thing that grabs all your attention, and story took a back seat. And they balance out again in 4, where they add a lot more character stuff, but your job system is severely limited.
Thankfully, 2 and 4 they were on the Super Nintendo, so that helped out a lot.
Yeah. So I'm curious about
they had a lot more
once we
memory.
get to 5. But I really 6 is the main one that I'm gonna want to get to. I'm in the Crystal Tower now.
6 is interesting.
Yeah. So Julian, I gotta ask you, because you're probably gonna have you and I are probably gonna have the same level of excitement. how do you feel, or I guess how did you feel when you saw all the Final Fantasy 3 stuff in Final Fantasy 14?
Lost my damn mind. Like I wasn't like no one here was around when that happened. So like I'm just sitting like I'm just playing. It was back when I was playing then I got back into 14 on my own because I just didn't really like. I didn't because like I didn't really feel like bothering asking other people to fucking like pay money to try playing this game again that we had already tried playing before. But besides like the scholar job class popping up and then it actually being useful, unlike what certain people say, fucking I enjoyed it's like seeing all these jobs from the game that I enjoyed was fun, and then fucking seeing the crystal tower and the crystal tower stuff and Une and fucking Durga and fucking shit. But instead of them being old people, they're young and hot for some reason.
Yeah, Amon's not a skeleton, or at least he doesn't seem like a skeleton.
No, he's still a skeleton. He's still a skeleton face. He's just not like skeleton in the rest of him.
They still have the wolf chick with 3 titties or 2 titties and 8 heads or whatever she is.
Well, she has like 2 tits and like 4 heads in 14.
Yeah,
because they had to calm that shit down.
Skilla. They had the 4 bosses from the 4 Warriors of Darkness, so Cerberus and I can't remember the other 3. Because those are the only ones. The Cloud of Darkness is really cool. You can see the Cloud of Darkness feet in this game. You know that?
Yes, I know. You can see the Cloud of Darkness.
But not in the game though. You have to go. I might as well pull it up while I'm here. I'm going to pull up the art, which is something I recommend for people.
If you want to see her feet so bad, just play Dissidia.
I don't want to play PSP. Ew, gross.
I'm
trying to trigger you guys.
I mean, you could. I mean, also you see her. You also see her the Dissidia model from in the Eden raids, because that's the version they use in the Eden raids.
They really do love nipple covers in this game. I'm looking at the concept
the
art.
Yoshi. No, the Yoshi. No, that's that's not concept art. That's the official art.
Yeah,
that's the Yoshitaka mono art. Or whatever his name is.
The Chocobo is terrifying in the official art.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking.
Look at this thing.
That's fucking scary. What the fuck? That's what he thought Chocobos. That's what he considered Chocobos look like, and they're like, no,
looks like.
nah. The game is like, nah, we can't use that. That's fucking terrifying.
They're just like, yeah.
The pixel art for Shiva looked exactly like the concept, or like this art. Like
she got those Chun-Li. She got those Chun-Li thighs though.
Rama's cool. If the Ifrit in this game looks like the Ifrit from 15, so I guess they took inspiration from there. I like the dog one more than the man one, but there's Titan naked as always. Odin is cool. They got his pixel art.
Odin looks pretty classic. Like
Bahamut, I did not realize that they made the super long neck dragon on purpose. Yeah. Like
yes,
that's what they wanted. I don't like that look.
Yeah.
And then if you do all the extreme fights from fucking Endwalker, that's the mount you get.
Really? You get the long neck dragon?
Yes, everyone hates it.
Oh, wait, I don't know. I kind of love it.
A lot of people hate it.
Yeah, well, it's an ugly design, period, right?
It is ugly.
But being a Final Fantasy fan, I kind of love it.
Yeah, Final Fantasy fan does. I like it,
but
like
a classic design.
Yeah, but for all that work, but for all the work you have to do to get extremes to do that shit, it's like, nah, fam, that's not worth it.
I would argue any mount is probably not worth it.
They gave you all the doing the ones in Shadowbringers, you get a giant Zoid dragon,
the triple
which
triad
is awesome.
Mount is totally worth it.
Yeah, well, no, I meant like for the extreme raids, because what was it before that? You were about to say it's the dragon one, and then before that it was a horse, and
before that it was a fucking the first one was Golden Horse. It was Golden Horse, which it was the Keating, which it was more of a you did it. Most people really wanted the Nightmare Horse that you could randomly get from the thing at the time. Then the next one was Giant Glowing Bird, which the Phoenix looks which it's not the Phoenix, it's fucking something else. It's just I forget what it's called, but it's awesome. I like that bird. I actually like all the birds. And then in Stormblood, it gives you get all these dogs with like multicolored things on them. And then you get a fucking kit, and then you get like this nine-tailed fox thing that's also from a raid series that you have to fight that randomly spawns like a woman in the middle of fucking Youngsha, where she's going, my head hurts. What's going on? I don't know who I am, but my head hurts so bad. And then you have to do all these different fates, and then it summons her, and then and then you see her like spawn up, and she's like, and it's like, bro, giant kitsune woman, you gotta kill her. And now you get fox ears and a fucking. What's the other thing you get from it? I don't think you get a tail. It's just you get fox ears, and another item which I can't remember off the top of my head, and a thing that said "Yay, you did it." But other than that, it was it's like I'm going off. I lost the train of thought. I kind of. What was my train of thought going? Where was I going with this?
I just wanted to.
Anyway, just fucking the mount that but yeah, it's nice to see. It's like fucking Bahamut and some certain summons, and their old art is interesting.
Yeah, I don't. For the amount of work and effort that people use to prog and learn and grind those raids, I don't know if a mount is. I guess mounts are cool. Now that I know that, I'll probably
wasting their time collecting trading cards.
When Dawn Trail comes out, I'll probably go back and try to grind those out on sync so I can get that dragon, because I like the idea of that. I was looking at the concept art and the official art. Did you see the used and unused for Une? So here's Une, the old lady. Yeah. She looks a lot like Matoya, like from the first game. Did you see the original design?
No.
Oh my god! I'm showing you on stream.
I seen the old lady with the parrot.
Looks so hot. It's outrageous.
What happened? Why did they go with this?
They went with this version. They did not go with this version. Instead, went with this version. It's incredible. They made an artistic decision and they stuck by it.
Yeah, they were like, we know what we're doing.
Maybe that's what she used to look like back when they were younger. I don't know.
I know we had a big shouting match during Final Fantasy II, but the art in this game, if it's the same artist as the first one, is a lot less gay. Like, the art in this game is much less gay than 2.
It is the same artist.
2 was so gay.
It's the same artist.
This art, he, like, I don't know if he, like, got it out of his system, or
system.
He paid it, like, the theme of this game was less androgynous.
He got the gay out of his system.
I mean, if you think that he got rid of the androgyny, it's like Omni. The androgyny continues.
Yeah,
in the other games.
I see it a bit here, but like no, it was on full display in 2.
Titus looks like a goddamn woman in his fucking splash arts. Looks like Yuna's kissing another man.
Actual official art like that all looks like super effeminate.
But that's his style. But that's like he's
character on the front of Final Fantasy III's like box art is no actual character in the game.
No, but it's a special costume in the city games.
No one knows who it is. It's just a generic character.
Yeah, they've tried to base that design is what they base Lunith off of, but they didn't give him any of the like same outfit looks, so because they wanted to give him something that was, reasonable.
Yeah, because like no one knows who this fucking character is.
Let's see. I'm going to the wiki and let's see what it has to say about
let's see, where is it?
I'm playing Sonic Battle now. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
Both versions of the game logo and several of Yoshitaka Amano's artwork show a white-haired, muscular warrior. His character is never named and never appears in the game. His design is similar to later Amano drawings of the protagonist from Final Fantasy V, Bartz. His ponytail and longsword are also similar to that of Desh's character in the remake version, and his general appearance resembles Lunith. Many assume the unnamed warrior is the basis for Lunith's design. And that's it. That's all we know about that character. That's according to the Final Fantasy Wiki.
It's just art. The green colors used in the remake logo may refer to a recurring element of wind throughout Final Fantasy III. It could also refer to the color scheme of the game's main antagonist. The green hues are used for the Onion Crystal and the city of Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's not like an actual character. It's just a design.
Yeah.
I don't think they told him they were going with Onion Knights, and they just kind of went with it. He just kind of went with whatever.
All right, I guess maybe like the swords and the ponytail in the back are 1, 2, and 3. Like it's the logo. I don't know. It's not as well thought out as the other titles arts in my opinion, but
I think after this one they start giving him more of a like an idea. They start giving him an idea of what the main characters are before he actually makes the art on this one.
Yeah, or the theme of the game or whatever the case may be. Because like in 16, it's Ifrit and Shiva. In 15, it's Luna Freya. And when you beat the game, you unlock the Noctis part of it.
Even 6, it's Terra on the Magitech armor.
Yeah, some of them are
which
more,
is from the beginning of the game. So.
And in 10, it's Yuna. Like she's the main character or something.
Yeah, she is the main character. It's very much the story of Yuna.
Well, it's Titus experiencing the story of Yuna.
It's Titus's story.
Again, like going through it again, or like I'm gonna play as we go through these games. I'm gonna play through all those games as well. But in 10 in particular, I've sort of come to the realization that Titus is really just a blank slate. He's not really a character. He is, and I would argue the reason he's so inquisitive, because he's always willing to ask questions and be open and not fight back against it so much. I think it's because he is the player's viewpoint. As he gathers info, we're gathering info.
That's the point.
So since he's the receptacle of all this info, and we're like the conduit for it to get to us, the story itself is more Yuna's story of the responsibilities thrusted upon her, and then how she fights against it as things are revealed.
She's more the main character, but he's more the storytelling perspective. Because like he says at the beginning, like this is his story as far as like he's the one telling it, but that's it. Like he's telling the story of mostly Yuna's trip. Like Yuna is the hero. Like he's just telling what he saw during that trip, and how it went down according to him. So he's more the lens that we're seeing it versus like the actual main character.
Yeah, which was an interesting choice, but I'll get back to that whenever I play Final Fantasy X again. Master of the Sword.
That'd be a fun one.
Some of the sword.
I haven't played through 10 in so long, but I'm trying to finish like all of these other ones.
Giant rat. I did not like that the behemoth, and this is my own bias, so I get to be biased for a little bit. I don't like that the behemoth is blue and only the king behemoth is purple. I like behemoth. Behemoth is my favorite monster in Final Fantasy, and I was like, fuck you, it's purple. It's always purple, you son of a bitch.
It still at least does the fucking meteor when it dies because it's a sore ass loser.
Yeah. Ecliptic meteor, fucking Charbalus, or however you pronounce it. I love it. But yeah, that's my one like. A totally super biased opinion. They fucked up Behemoth. It should have been purple. Whatever. Yeah, but I like the game. I think when I put it, eventually when I tier these or grade them or whatever, this is probably going to be on the lower end of my Final Fantasy experiences. I still like 2 overall better, but I do see and appreciate what they're doing with the job system, and I'm really excited to get to 5 to see how they flesh it out even more. That's where I sit on this game.
Yeah, I would say out of the NES ones or the Famicom ones, it's second place. Like 2 is my favorite, and then 3, and then 1.
I think you already said it, Julian. But you said you love this game.
Oh, I like this. Oh, I love this game. It's not like in the top. It's in the top 5 for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's in my top 5. It's in my top 5. I'm going to be honest. A good chunk of it is because of nostalgia.
That's fine. That's gonna come up eventually.
Yeah, I mean, nostalgia always plays a role in things.
The only person I know that's played every single Final Fantasy is my boy. Which Final Fantasies have you played, Julian?
1, 2, 3, 4. Haven't finished 5. Haven't finished 6, 7, 8. Haven't finished 9, 10, 10, 2. 11 is out of my. 11 is a fucking MMO, and I'm not enjoying another one. 12 I got pretty far in it, but never beat it 100%. 13 I beat. I didn't beat, but I never beat 13.3. I just watched cutscenes about it. 14 obviously, and 15 I haven't beaten, and 16 of course I haven't played yet.
Yeah. All right, so that's like what you've played 8 out of the 16 games. I guess 17 if you want to include 10 too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and all the versions of 5 and 3, which is like there's 13. And and the spinoff for 4, which is a continuation of the story.
Yeah. And then you, Scott, which ones have you played?
We're just talking about played, right?
Yeah. Oh, I guess beat, because I'm sure you could have sampled a lot of these for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, because if we're talking about sampling, I've sampled all of them
Sampled
then.
every of them, yeah. Well, which ones have you beaten?
Beaten? Because let's see. Because Julian, how many have you beaten?
Okay, so I beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I haven't beaten 8. Oh no, did I beat 8? Did I beat 8? I can't remember. Shit, it's been so long. I only played it
You're gonna
once.
beat 8 by the end of the year.
And then I know 10 obviously. 12 I haven't. 13, like I said, I did, except for 13.3. 14 I pretty much, MMO,
Yeah,
can't count.
you beat.
15 I haven't beaten. 15 I haven't beaten yet.
Okay, so yeah, 8. You beat
Okay.
you beat 8 of the main mains.
Okay. Because yeah, I've beaten 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 obviously we did for GameClub, but I have gone through them, beaten number 1. Let's see. I've beaten 9 once, a long time back. 10. 12. Then 14, because technically I at least beat a Realm Reborn, Stormblood, like
Yeah, you
everything
beat
except the
14
newest
up to-
expansion.
Yeah, you beat 14 up to Shadowbringers.
Yeah, and then 16 obviously. So I got the platinum in that.
So that's what, like
So that'd
7,
be-
6 games, 7 games for you?
I think it's 6.
6. And I've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 10, 10, 2, which I'm not gonna count that. I've been, I did not beat 13. I got surprisingly close to beating it apparently, but I stopped for whatever reason. 14, 15, and 16 I've beaten. So I've been 10 out of the mainline 16 ones. So I think by the end of the year, I'm gonna also add 5, 6, and 8. I'm gonna play 8 again, but I'll add 5 and 6, and then eventually I'll get to the others. I might even play 11, depending on if I can get a group together, just to get through the main story, see how that goes.
Yeah,
I hear
well-
it's really hard. I hear like it's really hard to do that because it's not
Or-
very narrative focused.
Is it the PC version that's still running? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
I know
would
the
be playing-
360 one is down now. I think the
people-
PS2 one is still running.
Yeah, there's the official PC one, but people also have private servers as well. I might do that. We'll see.
Because the official PC one, you have to still pay for it.
Yeah. I'm not too worried because I would only be playing it for like 2 months, maybe, depending on how much time I have. But yeah, so we'll get through more and more games. I like 3. The second half really saved 3 for me, but it's still on the bottom of my list overall. Maybe above 1, depending on how I feel, but I think I still like 1 better. But yeah, that's it. That's our game club for Final Fantasy 3. Yay!
Yay.
Oh. Yay, I just sneezed and I can smell foliage.
Run.
It's my allergies coming back. I can tell. They fucking cut grass today, so it's been a fucking chore.
Okay. Played applause for my stream. So now we gotta decide. Honestly, I want to play 5 for May. I don't really feel like going to another game. I'd rather just play 5 because I'm playing all these Final Fantasy games. June is gonna be weird because that's when not June. July is gonna be weird because Dawn Trail comes out, and
I do not care.
I'll be able to play it.
It's like until Dawn Trail's done, I'm not doing shit.
But do you have anything that you were looking forward to playing this month or for May?
Besides Paper Mario, not really.
Which Paper Mario?
Thousand Year Door?
The Thousand Year Door remake.
Thousand Year Door comes
Which
out.
is another RPG.
It also doesn't come out until the 23rd.
Yeah, it
so-
comes out the end of the month, so that would have been a June. That would have been a June.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it would have to be a June game club, but I think it's gonna last longer than 1 month.
Because that game's very.
It's not a super long one, but
It ain't
there's
short
no.
neither.
Yeah, and there's also no like boost type stuff that would make it go faster. Like
Yeah, and there's like a shit ton of dialogue in it.
yeah,
Dialogue.
it's I think a 2-monther.
I want to play 6, but Dawn Trail comes out in June.
And six ain't short. And six is one of the longest Final Fantasies in my opinion.
6 is pretty long.
I always zoom out. There it is. I want to play 5 for me. I'm just straight up putting that out.
That's fine
there.
with me.
That's fine.
You know that
fine.
I've been on one of those Final Fantasy kicks as well. Like,
Yeah.
hence why I Platinum Trophy 3 and then for Game Club, and then immediately went and Platinum Trophy 1, and then started 4. Like, so you know I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Are you? Do you want to try 5? I mean, if you said you haven't beaten 5, or maybe you have like an old file you can hop onto for 5.
Oh no, with 5 it was on the Game Boy Advance. I got rid of that copy ages ago.
Okay.
I'd have to fucking I could get the pixel remaster of that because fucking I get paid tomorrow. So this actually that's why I'm glad that we did it now, so I can actually do stuff for game. I can actually get the game for Game Club now without any bullshit.
Yeah. And then worst case scenario, you just emulate it because it's fucking Final Fantasy 5.
Yeah, I have a.
Game
I'm
Boy
usually
Advance,
using a
like,
GBA emulator
you're
right now.
Literally everywhere.
As long as you don't get the
Yeah,
DS version. The DS version is.
There is no DS version of
Oh, no,
5.
sorry. I'm sorry. The mobile version. The mobile version is awful.
Isn't there a 3D version of 5?
No.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No. It's a
No.
mobile version where
What's on Steam?
4 was on the DS.
the Steam version is most likely the mobile version,
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. It's this one. They look like cartoons.
and they have and their chests are all puffed out like they all have boobs.
Emulation at the moment. Saralina, you're more than welcome. If you play the game, this goes for anybody. If you play the game for Game Club and you want to join in the conversation, just let us know so you can be invited. But yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, this 5 is the one that it looks like it's on. What's the RPG Maker? It looks like it was on RPG Maker, right? Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's a little interesting.
It also has the character with the funny name.
Was Kryle introduced in 5? Is that where
Yes.
her name is from?
Yes.
What?
And
Really?
yes. And that's where Blue Mage was introduced.
Yes,
play
yes,
that.
it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna be playing 5. I've never played 5. I've never even opened 5. If you look in my Steam library, 0 hour. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't even show hours. I never played
I'm
it.
going to predict something, but we'll find out at the end of Game Club for May if I'm right. I think based on your enjoyment of the Final Fantasy 3 job class system, I think you're gonna enjoy 5's job class system.
Yeah.
As I wrapped up 3, I was like, okay, I'm really excited to see how 5 goes.
Because I think 5 does some really cool stuff with the job class system and really rewards you for experimenting around.
And Saralina, like the Pixel Remaster is literally available, like officially on mobile, so you can play the official one if you wanted to pay for it, or if you just want to do an emulation, you can play an emulation of 5.
Yeah,
That's totally
there is
fine.
a Game Boy Advance version of 5 that, like, no one should have any issue with you emulating since it's a fucking Game Boy Advance one.
All right, so then we'll play 5.
And that was kind of the definitive version to play it for a while.
I mean, to be fair, it still has extra content that the Pixel Remaster doesn't. Same with 4 on the Game Boy Advance and 6 on the Game Boy Advance. They do have extra content.
Dungeons and whatnot.
Yeah,
Shit.
just like the DS version of Final Fantasy 3 has extra content. Hence why we were talking about the whole Freelancer versus Onion Knight thing.
Okay. I think that this year is probably going to be almost all Final Fantasy, because we have, if I look at the months here, we have May through December, which is 8 months left. May we're going to do playing Final Fantasy 5. June is unknown, but July I'm going to be playing Dawn Trail. Me and Julian are going to be playing Dawn Trail, and who knows if that'll take 1 or 2 months. But
It won't take 2 months.
I figure we can either do August, September for 6, or September, October for 6, and then for the end of the year, either October, November for 8, or November, December for 8.
Yeah,
Like,
because I know
we have
both of
that.
those are going to probably take 2.
November, December.
2
I
months.
say we're gonna need 2 months for 8.
Hell yeah, piracy.
Piracy.
TW.
Oh my god, I forget how tedious this game is.
Are you playing The Sims? Are you playing Taro?
I'm playing fucking Sonic Battle.
Saralina sent me a DM with like her phones.
Oh.
It's an app on the store. Called emulations are. I have a couple of emulators on my phone as well. But I haven't downloaded a ROM in a while. No, I do want to ask this.
I may or may not have multiple.
This question kind of confused me, or I can't remember it. Maybe if Pierce is still in the chat, he'll know. In Final Fantasy as a franchise, because now I've played 1 through 3, I've played 10 of them. Whenever we get the Final Fantasy fanfare, I forget exactly what it's called, but the one that's like da 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 da. Usually that plays either during an ending or some point of significance. Like in 16, it played when Sid and Clive and Jill came together and came up with their plan.
It also plays a lot during the openings.
Openings, endings, it's usually there during some kind of emotional moment. Have they used that in 14 yet? Because I don't remember hearing that song in 14 yet. They haven't hit their climax or their peak yet in 14. Julian, are you still there?
I'm trying to remember, when did they use it?
I don't think,
because I think I think they did.
They used I'm on the main menu where it's the da 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 da.
No. I think no. They did use it somewhere. I just can't remember where it was.
What is it called? What is that song called?
The Prelude.
Yeah, it's Prelude.
Is it
what
Prelude?
it's called? Yeah.
No, that's not Prelude. Prelude's the one that I'm hearing now. I
don't know. I just know it as the main Final Fantasy theme. I don't know the name.
Because if I can Google the name, somebody's probably categorized if it appears in 14.
It's just known as main theme.
Theme song? I'm gonna go to YouTube.
No, just main theme.
YouTube.
It's also been called the opening theme and the prologue. No, hold on. The theme first played during the opening of the original Final Fantasy has since appeared in most main series titles except for Final Fantasy 2, 10, and 13.
Because it gotta be
according to
different.
the Final Fantasy wiki.
Because it gotta be different.
Where does it appear in 14?
Give me a minute. It tells me every time it appeared. During version 1.0, this theme was part of the song opening theme. The theme was also used in the song A World Apart, which plays when the player first takes an airship to other starting cities during the main storyline.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
It also plays during the conclusions of several major storylines, such as the 2.0 main quest, when a Zodiac weapon is obtained, and the ending of the Shadow of Minak, among others.
I've earned 4 Zodiac weapons. I don't remember hearing that song.
A piano arrangement of A World Apart mixed with the sound effects of the mounts was also used in the Eorzea Symphony trailer for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. An arranged version of the theme incorporated along with Kaine and /Salvation from Nier and 13th chapter closing from Drakengard plays in the fight against the final boss at Tower of Paradigm's Breach in Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. And The Tale of the Star is an orchestral arrangement that plays at the beginning of the end credits for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Those are the times it's used.
I did skip the credits.
Yeah.
Main theme that plays at the end credits of 2.0. Okay, this was uploaded 8 years ago. So yeah, they do use it for end credits in these.
Yeah, along with getting Zodiac weapons.
I don't remember hearing it for Zodiac weapons. I guess the only answer is for me to get a 5th one and listen more carefully.
I just gotta get a 5th one and listen more carefully.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It does make sense that you get it when you first take an airship to the other starting towns. That makes a lot of sense.
I haven't heard that in 9 years. You got.
Well, yeah.
I'll have to be forgiven.
Even I haven't heard that in quite a long time.
Jesus, man. Okay, then yeah, Final Fantasy 3 is in the books. We are we are Final Fantasy completionists, except for Julian. We got all the achievements or trophies, except for Julian. And then we're on the way to get 5 done in May, which is my birthday month. Yay!
Yay!
So, yeah, that's where we're gonna end for Final Fantasy 2 discussion. I'm gonna do a quick BRB. I'm gonna switch my chat over to the public chat, or like the open stream chat, and then I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 14. So we'll BRB. I can't speak for your stream. I don't know.
Oh, we're still alive. Oh no, we're still alive. You think I have a pause?
Yeah.
Think I have a
We'll
pause?
swap over to the other, like, voice chat real quick.
Yeah,
Because that doesn't require doing anything else.
Exactly. Why is that on fucking LGG thingy?
I moved you guys.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way real quick.
Okay.
Because I am a person who was not willing to hear about this anymore. Okay. I wrote all these down so I'm going to answer all of them in chronological order after I'm done explaining how I feel about this whole thing. Okay.
Alright, I'm
So-
gonna keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
So, Florida trip. We didn't talk about it on LGG. Of course we didn't, because we talked about it on Omnis, because I only asked a couple questions, because nothing really much happened between me and Scott for anything else. Julian, and then with Julian, he doesn't really care. He didn't really care. Not the fact he didn't care about the trip. He's just like, Julian's apathetic to a lot of things. What it seems like. It's like, oh, I had fun. And it's like, why are you so monotone about it? He's like, what do you want from me? And that's how our conversations go on these things. And then with Megan, it's like, all I remember is my feet hurt. Anyway, so I have a bunch of questions here that I need to answer. Anyway, Julian, what was your favorite ride that you hadn't ridden Disney yet from your trip? Well, it was obviously freaking.
There was only like one.
There was only one that I could go on that I hadn't ridden on, and that was fucking well, actually, Smuggler's Run we didn't go on. I hadn't gone on before either, but of course it was Rise of the Resistance.
So there was 2 rides out of
Yeah, but Rise of the
everything.
Resistance. Yeah, Rise of the Resistance was fun. I liked Rise of the Resistance. That's it. That was awesome. I could see why it breaks down all the time because it's fucking insane how many
there's
elements
a
there
lot of
are.
ride systems, yeah.
Too many elements.
Because if one element breaks down, it just goes down.
Because it has to go through a Poseidon's Fury thing, and then this fucking like small movement thing that they used to put in what was it? Like this hydrolator thing from fucking Disney Quest or whatever. The stupid elevator where it's an adventure. It's not an elevator, it's an adventure. It's something just like that with that stupid ship segment, and then you have another walkthrough segment, and then you get the ride section, which has its own fucking segments in it. And it's like there's 2, and then also because the trackless ride system has like fucking a grain of sand could throw that shit off for some reason if it's not heavily maintained, and it's fucking wild.
It's not that bad. But
I'm just saying how much. I'm just saying, you know, like it. But anyway, what was your favorite meal? Crap.
There was only one super expensive ass one.
There was only one super expensive one because I like Flame Tree Barbecue, but I had it before. But you know, pretty much the Crystal Palace is great. I would love to go to that, but next time we're doing breakfast.
Why? Lunch was so good, or dinner was so good.
Because I'm a breakfast fanatic and I can't help myself.
But it's just gonna be like, oh man, you paid $80 for fucking eggs and toast and some waffles.
I love eggs and toast and waffles. Excuse you.
Eggs and toast and
Like,
waffles.
yeah, that was totally worth $80.
Anyway.
I want pancakes.
I like pancakes too.
Anyway,
Yes, he's in the forest.
well,
Hurry
fine.
up.
Well, fine. We'll try.
At
Fine.
least
We'll
dinner
go.
was all you can eat salmon.
Ugh, fine. Whatever. Fine.
man.
Whatever. I'll just have to do it on my own. Anyway, next. Okay. If Bobby's commenting on anything, I can't see your comments because I have to finish reading these. Things. He's not commenting. Good. Alrighty. Were you surprised by any changes at the parks, good or bad? Oh, there were so many changes that I wasn't happy about. I wasn't happy about. Fucking the Lightning Lane thing, I don't care. Fucking, I already was expected Disney to fucking try to rake more money out of people. It's fine. My
I mean,
thing,
it's basically the same thing as Universal with their
yeah,
stupid
it's
thing.
yeah. That's why I wasn't really fucking like any. That's why I wasn't really like surprised by that one. It's just that everything's so much more. Everything got so much more expensive for what felt like smaller portions. Since I haven't been there in so long, but maybe it's because I hadn't been there in forever that I had
Inflation
higher
sucks.
expectations. Inflation is an awful thing, and Disney's abusing it. And that's the biggest thing. That and then well, there's a good thing I like that was that was a good change was
Also, you literally got in free, so
yeah, I can't. That's why I'm not 100% complaining. I got it for free. If I paid for that shit, I'd be a lot more pissed off. It's just I call it an inconvenience rather than a actual like fucking bad thing. It's like, but just like, oh boy, if I didn't get it for free, this would have been a not happening kind of moment. Would have ended up going to because you know with the money the fucking budget I had, I would have ended up going to Gatorland and it would have fucking saved money.
I mean, it's like $5 for a year pass there, so yeah.
Please tell me you have the Final Fantasy games I'm looking for. Please have it.
Are you
But
looking for a ROM? If so,
Yeah.
go to Vim's Lair.
I'm on-
VIMM.
which one am I using?
I'm on a different website. I don't want to say it on stream just in case.
I have no issue with saying that one.
I
it's a good,
have one
safe
called
website is
I have
what-
one that's safe called. Oh wait, Vimnet. Never mind. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
I like the Vault. It's like, oh wait, no, that is Vimnet. Anyway,
Yeah, yep.
that's all. That's how I
Because
get all
it's-
mine.
Yeah, it's a safe
wanna-
site.
If you want to share it in my Discord under tech,
I will. I will in a second. Well, the wait times what were the wait times more or less than last time? Well, last time we went in like fucking what was it, October or late September? So there were plenty
But
of
you
wait
also-
times.
We also went before COVID.
Yeah, we went before COVID, so the
So,
wait times were a
like,
lot.
There were a lot more people in the parks.
Yeah,
because
so-
capacity was higher. So
Yeah, but then when we went on, but you know, the only huge wait that we were was for Wreck and Ratatouille. That was fucking crazy. Because like there was like no wait, and then we get there, and then suddenly it turns into it went from 20 to a fucking hour-long wait because the fucking ride broke down or some shit.
The
But
ride is called Wreckin' Ratatouille.
no,
Oh.
it's just Ratatouille.
no, I called it fucking Ratatouille.
Oh, fucking.
Please.
I put the emphasis on it because I'm insane. But you know, it wasn't. None of the waits were that insane. It was pretty. Actually, surprisingly for the first week of spring break, surprisingly little. I think a lot of people are so afraid of spring break at this point that they stay away from it. But by the time near the end of the trip, everybody was like, "Nah, fuck it. It's Friday. It's the Friday before fucking like the locals had their spring break." So everybody was there apparently. So that's what I found out anyway. That it was like a lot of the local schools got out, so that's when their spring break kicked in, and a lot of other places spring breaks kicked in. So that's when people show up is the Friday before spring break because they're like, "Fuck it, we can leave town the Thursday before. Who gives a shit?" Give me a second. I want to get this. I'm getting this link for Saralina.
I heard
Okay, now-
tourism in general is kind of down in Florida.
What do I put this in?
lately.
Gaming general?
Tech.
TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
There.
I feel like a lot of people aren't traveling currently.
Oh yeah.
Because
Everybody's
it's expensive as shit.
expensive shit to
like-
travel.
So like you just gotta be like, okay, well,
We paid for our tickets in separate.
like what can we do in like our own areas or close by instead of like
We-
traveling to a whole nother state.
Yeah, we spread out our plane tickets between 4 months of paying for it, and I wish I could have paid for them even sooner. But
So yeah, I would not be surprised that like tourism in general is down.
and then also those weren't even direct flights, except for the last one, which I won't talk about the last one. I'll get to the last one eventually. But let's see. Let's
That
look
shit
at
was
this.
delayed. It's fucked.
Fucking, I said we'll talk about it when I get to it.
Angry.
You good?
You mean you rode? You mean you rode this ride? So there is no other better, right? Fucking Bobby, calm down. Shit. God damn it. Where was? All right. Talk about how your roommate got sick with the back-to-back rides. Okay, so right, Julian. So my roommate Julian, it's fun, a coincidence we share the same name. But my roommate Julian, he apparently does have motion sickness. It is only in things that, and mostly things that spin, or but because it's, you know, like, but I forget that Disney rides like to use fucking our motion simulators, and motion simulators don't need the spinning to get people sick.
I just thought about that. Be thankful we didn't go to fucking Universal.
He would. Let's just say Julian wouldn't be. Julian wouldn't have been able to use the glasses. I would have told Julian, take those glasses off right now.
Because like every ride is like a 3D like simulator.
He wouldn't have been able to go on Men in Black because of the spinning. Fucking, he could have gone on Cat in the Hat because the spinning on that's been muted down to a goddamn nothing. Also, just to jump ahead on these questions because it's here. No, we did not go to Universal. We did not make it to Universal because going to Universal costs $250 each.
No, Florida resident would have been $175, but still, it was almost $200 each. And that was not gonna happen.
And then also with how little time I had, nah.
I want to say something about cost real quick, for me and Julian specifically, because I know you kind of joked about it, but I also know you kind of weren't joking about it. So I looked into it. I was gonna buy his tickets for WWE Raw in August in Austin. The cheap seats are like $60 to $80, but you're way up there. The closer seats are like $600 to $1,000.
I call that shit.
Yeah, like the middle seats are like $500 to $600, which I don't mind paying. It's just like I'd have to be really, really like we're definitely gonna go and whatnot.
Yeah, none of this. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah,
like
wrestling
being wishy-washy about it.
is expensive.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the fact of going to anything that has a dome or something. Anything like in a theater. It's like just the location.
Yeah, there's
wrestling
stuff to do in Austin, but
yeah. Omni, we could go to one of those off wrestling places. You know, the ones that look like they're the ones that are on a basketball court somewhere.
Oh my god! So
I don't want to divert your attention too much. There is a bar near where I live, and you can look it up online if you want. It's called Pinball's Kingdom. It's a gaming bar, so they have a full arcade, a full bar, a full restaurant. But they also have an outside area, and they regularly have wrestling shows.
Omni, we've been there.
Oh, you have been to Pinball's Kingdom?
We've been to Pinball's Kingdom. Yeah. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it was called in Austin. Well, it was in the city. I don't think it was the same thing, actually. Now that I think about it.
There's a Pinball's in the city, and then there's
Pinball's we went to the one in the city.
Okay, that's Pinball.
Yeah, we went to the one in the city. Yeah, it was fun. Had some kind of pizza roll thing. It was interesting. And also it had like a Hatsune Miku dance game on it in there. It was fucking awesome.
But yeah, events are very expensive, so I'm right there with you. But you can continue with your questions.
Okay, but yeah, we couldn't. Yeah, answering the question, we couldn't go to Universal at all. Too expensive, and I didn't have time. We didn't have time. If I had a longer trip, and if it wasn't so, and if I was like not dragging two other people with me, it would have been a lot easier to go. But no. Let's see. How was the Magic Kingdom day? How was the Magic Kingdom day? Oh right. No, Julian getting sick, that's pretty much it. But, you know, he was fine next day. He just needed fucking electrolytes or whatever. How was the Magic Kingdom day? I wasn't able to go that day, sadly. Oh, right. Magic Kingdom was your typical Magic Kingdom day. We got up early, had breakfast, went on almost everything. That wasn't fucking like a 100-minute long wait. Like fucking, we didn't go on Seven Doors Mine Train.
We didn't go on Seven Doors. We didn't go on Big Thunder.
We didn't go on Space. We didn't go on...
We didn't go on...
Tron or Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan, and
we didn't go on like 90% of things there.
And we didn't go on a good. We went on a good chunk of things, enough to say, hey, you've been to Magic Kingdom, congratulations. But mostly because Big Thunder, all the roller coasters were essentially really busy that day. I don't know why. But we did go. But we did take them on the staples of Pirates and fucking my Haunted Mansion and Winnie the Pooh and shit.
Yeah, we did do those.
And we did. And our first ride was, of course, Small World because it was like 5 minutes.
It's always fun to do.
Bobby showed up way late. Like, not way later. That was another day. I forget what time he showed up. He showed up eventually. Oh
Yeah,
no!
I
Fuck
went
this.
to I went to Disneyland like 2 winters ago with my family, and that was like the first time I get to walk around by myself. I just waited in line without any issue. I enjoyed going on the rides by myself, and I walked around by myself for like 12 hours without getting tired.
Well, also because Disneyland is a lot cheap, is a lot less crazy and expensive than fucking Disney World is. Disney World's
Oh
fucking.
no, it's about the same.
Yeah,
if you look at ticket prices.
I caught up with my parents, and they're just like, "Where the heck have you been all day?" And I'm just like, "I've just been enjoying my time and all that stuff." And I told my mom, "So this is what it's like to be an adult in Disneyland. I don't have to beg you for a churro. I can just go buy myself one."
Where am I going?
Yeah,
You should have
you
just
gotta
lied and
love
told them you were doing
being an
drugs.
adult and being like, I can actually just buy things that I
Yeah.
want. Like,
Because the last time I went to Disneyland was like I didn't have a job. Of course, like I was like a teenager, so like I had to ask my mom like, "Can we get this?" And she'll say no and all that. So I was just like, I got to buy myself a churro. I got to buy myself one of those banana chocolate covered bananas and stuff like that. It's just like, so this is what it's like to be a Disney adult. Because she's just like,
Hey,
oh
the
no.
Crystal Tower.
She's
Be
just
careful
like,
using
oh,
that.
no.
Be careful using that phrase. It also has bad connotations now. People assume the worst of you for no reason because there are people who are awful.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. When I say like I'm a Disney adult, I'm just like in my head, I'm like I'm just an adult in Disneyland that can actually buy her own stuff. I'm not like over the top crazy. Like I enjoy the Disney movies, but I'm just like I'm not the type of person who like decorates every ounce of the bedroom or whatever with Disney stuff. I do that I do dragons instead.
There's a Raising Cane's being built near you, Bobby. That's nice.
I mean, there's already one over here. We
Well-
literally could have gone to one while Julian was here.
Well, I already have one. I would have gone to that one place in fucking Claremont. That would have been better, in my honest
Which
opinion.
place?
ZDTs or something, or I can't remember what the cat's fucking called.
PDQ?
PDQ.
PD's nuts, dude.
PDQ. There we go. PDQ's way better. Or hell, we could have gone to Zaxby's.
I
Which
like
they
Zaxby's.
just built one around here.
Zaxby's has surprisingly good chicken wings. You wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them near me, but I've never been to one.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then we went to Crystal Palace, and then we left in the middle of the fireworks because we really needed because Megan was dead at the end of Magic Kingdom Day.
Real quick question.
Uh-huh.
The link that you put in before with the games and all that stuff, can I play the PlayStation 3 games on my computer?
Yes. If your
Well, you
computer's
have
strong
an
enough,
emulator.
then yes, it
Yeah.
can emulate it.
Yeah, but you do have to have a PS3 emulator.
Yeah. In
The
fact, there was
PS3
a-
emulator's
there's a-
there, but
Yeah, there was a
I
new
don't-
article that
was the PS3 emulator on that site?
The,
I don't think it was.
Yeah, the PS3 library is much more limited compared to older consoles, but recently, it's funny that you asked that. There have been some big jumps in the PS3 emulators, so you may want to re-download or re-research your emulators to see if you can find a good PS3 one.
yeah, they have a PS3 emulator here. RPCS3.
I see I see a game that I used to play back on PS3, and I want to play it. I haven't played it in so long. It's White Knight Chronicles too.
Oh,
I
White
haven't
Knight Chronicles.
played
That's a good game.
I have not played that since they shut down the servers. Oh my god, I spent hours making my town in that game so aesthetically pleasing. I was a maid, of course, in that game. I need to play the game again.
Why is Dark Knight so good at taking enmity? I'm always stealing enmity from the other tanks whenever I play Dark Knight.
Yeah, but now have a better fucking what's it called? But you have the worst what's it called?
Self-healing.
Not self-healing, just fucking mitigations.
Yeah, 2 of them are wasted on fucking magic damage. What the fuck?
Okay, so the games that I got, let's see, Harvest Moon, I got Digimon World, Final Fantasy 12, Revenant Wings. I never did beat that last time.
Yeah.
We played that. Another Harvest Moon. The first Harvest Moon I got was The Tale of Two Towns, and I got another Harvest Moon DS. My
Damn.
Sims,
Well, at least it
Pokemon
wasn't
Soul
Save the
Silver,
Homeland.
Dial Savvy. Oh my god, I don't need to buy a DS. Thank
Everybody
God.
ring the bell. Everybody jump,
And
jump. Oh.
those were just the DS games. Then the Game Boy Advance, I got Hamtaro.
Where are all these
As
frozen
Taken,
people?
of course. And then Game Boy Color, I got Frogger. God, I love Frogger. Another Hamtaro game, and Monster Rancher. Oh, I'm so happy.
The Monster Rancher game on that game on the Game Boy Color is absolute garbage.
I like the PSP game.
That was my first Monster Rancher, and like it was so bad.
I think I played the PlayStation one.
The PlayStation one's fine.
Oh, yeah, that
the
one was
Game
fun.
Boy one, you don't patch anything from discs. It's like a puzzle game, and that's it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like it's so bad.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, one thing you might be interested in is an EverDrive. Those are really fun. Because that's what I have for my Game Boy Advance is a GBA EverDrive. So it's just a cart that plugs into your Game Boy Advance, and you plug in an SD card to it, and you can download all the ROMs onto there, so that you're playing the games on the official hardware, but as a ROM.
Neat.
So I have like every Game Boy Advance game that I could ever possibly want to play, always in my Game Boy Advance whenever I want to play it.
Yeah, I use my PSP as my Game Boy Advance emulator. I was going to mod it, and when I bought a used one, it was already modded. So I was like, "Well, I'm gonna play with it. Why not?"
Yeah.
I'm using my phone. I'm playing the games on my phone.
Yeah, I have Dolphin on my phone, and I have a NES emulator on my phone, which I'm guessing I could probably play SNES and other games, but I use it for some NES games.
Okay, let's see here. What's this next crazy question? Did I skip a question? I think I skipped a question.
Probably.
I don't know. We went through all the days.
No. I did.
Magic Kingdom was like the last day.
I did skip a question though. I think I skipped through some of the questions by accident.
His name is Moho.
Did you spend more than you expected? Yes. Which shop did you spend the most at? Food.
I was gonna say, you only bought like one $10 plush, and that was it.
Exactly.
Labolis, this is the boss. Oh, okay. No wonder.
I spent money on food. Money on food. The only thing I spent money on a $10, and then the rest of it was a $10 plush and frickin' melted pennies. Anyway,
is that still? Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah,
that's
so old timey.
California.
Yeah. So let's see. Did you take any pictures with any characters? No, I did not take any pictures with characters. I took pictures of characters, but I took nothing with them. Surprisingly, I thought about it, but then those had weights.
Megan did.
Megan? I don't know if she did. I think she did.
Oh, bullshit!
Wait.
We had to go hunt down the fucking Cinderella's sisters because.
Oh yeah, that. Oh wait, no, I did take a picture with them. Oh right, I forgot. I took a. Oh wait, no, I did take a picture with them.
And what's her face?
No, Megan did that. No, wait, no, Megan did that. I didn't take a picture with them.
Yeah, Megan did that.
Megan did the. I just took the pictures. Then she complained about the thing, and I'm like, stop complaining about someone helping you.
But she's the only one that took a picture with a character.
Yeah, she took pictures of the ugly stepsisters, and I just stood there and looked at them. Anyway, let's see. What did you think of Disney Springs? Well, I didn't really. My opinion's not different of it. I like it. Giant shopping mall, but
I last time
well, I don't know. There was one. It's like I ate it more places than I had before. Than I ever did before. I enjoyed the donut place the last day I was there. The Coca-Cola store was nice to look at.
Ooh, there's a Coca-Cola store?
Yeah, I finally got.
Also, at the top of the Coca-Cola store, have like a bar.
My brother would love that.
And
Coca-Cola.
You can get like they do specialty Cokes every month. They have like Cokes from around the world up there. You can get like a flight of Cokes.
Yeah,
that's.
I heard it's pretty expensive though. For a Coke, for a Coke.
I can't pay. I can't in
like,
good conscience play premium for Cokes.
Well, you're already on vacation. You're spending money.
Random stuff. Like I got gingerbread Coke up there.
Neat.
During the holidays.
The
only downside was they put like an actual fucking gingerbread cookie in there, and I'm like, no, like
Um,
Soggy ass cookie pieces in this.
yeah. So speaking
Guy
of cookies,
keeps provoking.
speaking
and
of
I still keep
cookies,
stealing it and just doing
I
my
finally got to
rotation.
have the Gideon's cookie that Julian got me back at the airport, and I enjoy it. But holy shit, those things are it's just a huge mound of nothing, of mostly chocolate chips, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't finish it for 2 days. It took me 2 days to finish that thing entirely. And then, actually, no, it took me 3 days to finish it entirely. I started eating some of it at the day we got it at the airport, and then I ate some more of it the next day, and then I took the rest of it with me to work, and I finished it there. But it's like, holy crap, that took me 3 days to finish a cookie because it's mostly chocolate chips and it's so rich, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I couldn't fucking eat that whole thing.
You're gonna make me feel fat because I fucking ate like 2 of them in one day.
Well, you didn't have just chocolate. You didn't also have a bunch of other foods that day.
No, I got the chocolate peanut butter and then
Normal chocolate chip.
like a normal peanut butter.
Yeah, no. We just had the normal
The
chocolate chip.
peanut butter is the same as the chocolate. It's
Yeah, it has-
chocolate
but it has-
chip, it just uses a peanut butter base.
Yeah, but it also has little peanut butter chocolate chips in it too. I saw that one because Julian had that one. He said he could eat that one easily, but the other one, no, he couldn't eat the chocolate chip one because that one's just too much. Even Megan said the same thing. The normal chocolate chip one has too many damn chocolate chips in it. And then without
I just think their cookies are overpriced as shit.
I don't. I couldn't care. I couldn't care less. I just
Like they weren't bad, but for like $7-8 a cookie, I'm like, nah.
Oh yeah, Scott, on a random tangent. Remember the pants Julian got from the liquidation?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are huge. They look like parachutes on, they look like parachute pants on him.
Oh,
He got the size. His usual size pants is not what Disney
Yep.
thinks his size is. It's like fuck. He got a double XL, and that thing is fucking huge.
Real quick, because you were complaining about Mini in Final Fantasy 3, Amon, if you don't outrun his purple orbs, he turns you Mini for the fight. I think that's another reference. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Well, wait. What do you do? Wait.
You see, I'm seeing a lot more of this fight than I'd ever paid attention to before. Now that I've
Oh wait, no.
played
Yeah, being mini, you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to turn mini. You're supposed to let the orbs touch the snakes so they turn mini.
Yeah. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, and that ancient flare thing he does actually is fucking. Ain't that great? Ain't Faraga flare great? Fucking in the remake, isn't it fun? No, it's not. It sucks. Fucking, it's awful. It's awful. Anyway, let's see. Other questions. Disney Springs answered spending the most of money. Let's see. Wait times
It's
again.
midnight because I'm very hungry.
Let's talk about
I know
Roommate
that.
Sick, Magic Kingdom Day. Already talked about that. What did the hugs from Bobby and I feel like? Meh. Moving on. Moving on. You're not getting more of a response than that.
Like you were trying to molest him in the middle of the fucking park.
You guys were doing you guys were doing things that usually I am not comfortable with.
You guys were doing things that even Julian thought was a little too gay.
y'all, it's a good thing y'all have wives, or I'd be questioning you right now. Let's see. No, we never went to Universal. Did I grind her with anyone? No, I didn't have time. Do you think I really had time to sit there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and get on Grinder and then drive off away from everybody else when I need it, and then wake up and then go have sex with some random asshole, and then fucking come back home, and then come back to the freaking hotel room and be ready to go to Disney first thing in the morning? Hell no.
When you say have sex with a random asshole, it has a very different connotation.
Well, technically, when we're talking about Grinder, essentially, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, have you financially recovered from this trip yet? I still owe Julian money.
That's a no.
Yeah, I'm still paying Julian back for some things. A lot of things. I've only paid a fourth of what I owe him, and I'm going to pay I'm going to pay him another fourth of what I owe him when I get paid. Anyway, so, and then another thing, of course, we got to talk that happened on the trip is flight there was fine. We get to Georgia. Dude behind us is eager to get up, stands right next to me. I turn and look at him. His crotch is in my face. I could see everything. Fucking, it's like, If you are well endowed, you should not wear sweatpants. Moving on. Just so we get off the plane,
Tell that
and
to all
then
the NFL Instagrams I follow.
yeah, fucking it. That's why I don't look at NFL people on Instagram.
I'm just kidding. I don't use Instagram, but I know that they exist.
Yeah, fucking, it's crazy. It's crazy how many people on Instagram with their Instagram. It's like, look at me. It's like, I can't look at you, honey. I'm too busy looking at that bulge in your pants. Anyway,
Yeah,
moving
well,
on.
no, there are like candid photographers who like take pictures of athletes, and it's just their dicks hanging out in sweatpants.
Anyway, moving on. No. Some people just take glamour shots and they accidentally catch those things in there. It's like, what are you doing? Anyway, moving
Gets
on.
a little bit of tip.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Fucking, so me and Julian are going to the bathroom, and then before us, we see Sweatpants going into the bathroom beforehand. Julian's like, so you're gonna try anything? I'm like, Julian, no, I'm not gonna try anything. Fucking, I don't want to try anything. I just want to get food and sit down, and so we can get ready for the next flight up. We mentally prepared for the next flight, especially since it was raining there when we got there. So, you know, I went to the bathroom, got food at some random fucking breakfast place I'd never heard of before, but it served my fucking thing in I got a fucking Subway it was like a weird breakfast Subway sandwich. Anyway, you know, we got to Florida. It was fun, you know, then I got to Florida. The whole trip was fun. And then on the way back, fucking our plane got delayed 5 hours. 5 hours. We got there with we got there expecting our plane to leave in 2 hours. When we got to the airport and left the car. And then while going through baggage claim, it said our flight's been delayed for at least an hour. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Get through baggage check, and fucking once again, Florida. All airports are different. At San Antonio Airport, I didn't have to take out all my electronics. Florida Airport, I have to take out all my electronics. What the fuck? And then apparently it's like that for a lot of different places. Some airports will make you take out your electronics, some won't. Like, they yelled at me at the San Antonio Airport for wasting people's time trying to take it out. And then at fucking the Orlando Airport, they get mad at me. They have me standing there for a good 10-15 minutes waiting for them to check all my shit because I had three different things in my carry-on bag. I had my Switch, I had my tablet, what else was there? My Switch, my tablet, and no, that was it. That's why I took 3 times, because the first time it didn't flag through. First time they took out my tablet, and I'm like, I try to try the guy. It's like, there's another thing in there, but he had ignored me because TSA people are awful. So they had to send it through again, and I told them, yeah, I tried to tell you, my Switch is in there. And then Megan and Julian are like, what's taking so long? And it's like, and I'm like sitting here, it's like, it's not my fault, they're idiots. And the dude turns and gives me a look, and then I just like stand there and stare at him back. And it's like, I don't care. I tried to tell you, but you ignored me. Don't get mad at me because you can't pay attention. And so then we get on the other side of baggage. Once we're done with baggage claim and we get to the fucking terminal, it tells us our flight's been delayed till fucking like 11 o'clock at night. In Florida. So yeah, we're pissed. We're just sitting in the airport. I go pass out in a corner somewhere while my phone's charging, and then for like a good 30 minutes. And then, you know, it's like when our plane finally gets there, it takes forever to get off the ground because like the reason why it got delayed is because there was like a huge storm in the northern part of Florida, and that huge storm kept everybody from leaving that had to use going west. So everybody going west actually had to wait and then it was like a fucking traffic jam of planes taxiing. It was awful. So we ended up not actually getting off the ground till like almost midnight Florida time. And so by the time we get back to San Antonio, it's already past midnight. It's like 1 in the morning.
These guys can handle
and we had to get it, and like I'd never seen an empty airport before, but that shit was eerie. Nothing's open. It was closed, and then we had to get it. And then me and Julian had to get a lift home because it was super late, and I was not gonna even bother asking my parents to leave. And then freaking Megan, and then by the time Megan's bag got checked, she was gone. Her ride was there, and she was gone. She didn't even wait to see if we were okay. She just gone. I was like, whoa.
Damn.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? She's dying. It's fine. Whatever. Whatever. Let her go because she lives in the opposite direction.
Walking.
Well, because she has a desk job all day, so she doesn't. She like does desk like fucking receptionist shit at like a fucking military office. So she
Yeah, I have no stamina. I feel that pain.
she had no stamina, and she
Yeah.
went from not walking to walking. I told her you should have been I told you start walking a lot more and get exercise. It's like don't. It's like I know, but I didn't wanna. It's like well now you're paying for it.
I didn't wanna.
Okay, so but yeah, that was fucking fun. Our Lyft driver was nice. I think I recognized him from fucking
Grindr?
Pride, actually.
Oh, that's nice.
You're like, have I seen you in the bathroom before?
Wait.
No,
Regular-
well,
oh,
no,
it's regular Great Movie.
well, no,
Can I see your penis? I think it might be familiar.
no. What? No, I was part of a group of. I was part of actually in San Antonio Pride one year. Before I was in the back in 2019, I went to Pride, and one of my friends asked me if I want to be part of the parade with fucking a bunch of other like people as a fucking like I don't know whatever reason. So I was like walking down the street with the Pride parade or whatever, and oh right, it was like by representation or whatever. Fuck. So I was there, and I think the guy who was in the thing was the same person, but I might be wrong about that. But I didn't ask him because it would have been awkward, and I was too tired to even fucking function. Because by the time we got home, the fucking time changed. By the time we got home, so we and Julian had to set our clocks forward from 2 in the morning to 3 a.m. By the time we got home.
Bad luck.
That was
You should have thought of that beforehand.
Oh no. Good
Yeah.
thing is I had
That's why I took the day off work.
I took the day off work. I had the
Found
Sunday
out
off.
That it was gonna be during the time change, and I'm like, fuck that.
Oh no. I don't go to work right after fucking trips. No, I'm not dumb. I need a day of recovering after having to wake up an hour earlier than I expected to. And then especially with this one, I had to wake up even earlier than I expected to. But so I had the whole day off. I didn't even touch 14 that day. I just kind of like sat in the bed.
Wow, when an
vegetating.
addict says he's not touching his vice, like fuck, he was knocked out.
You just sat in the bed and you just contemplated on.
Well, I got up. I got up and got on my computer by like 7 p.m. the next day, and then not the next day, that day, and then I was like, I'm gonna try and do something, and then I realized, holy crap! And then I looked at the fridge like, Julie, we don't have anything in this fridge to cook. And then I was like, wait a minute, and I looked back there, I'm like, yes, I was smart. I fucking made sure that I never cooked a package of bacon, and we had breakfast that night.
Yay!
We had to. I just made I just made fucking bacon and waffles. Because,
You made
I'm trying
some.
to pull that Sprite in here. Okay, there we go.
and then Julian tells me when he looked at his bank statement, it made his eyes widen. And I said,
Are you
yeah.
comfortable mentioning exactly how like the dollar amount that you spent?
I'm
Or is
not.
that something you
I
don't-
don't remember the dollar amount we spent.
Was it over 1,000?
Obviously. But
Well, I mean, like in terms of like
what?
not travel.
Not
but,
travel.
like,
Are you talking about non-travel and hotel expenses?
just for like
Yeah.
food and stuff like that.
food
No.
and souvenirs.
Oh no,
and
we didn't.
tickets.
Oh no, we didn't spend $1,000 for that stuff.
that's what I would've-
Altogether, hell yeah. But for
Yeah,
food and
I
stuff,
would've
nah, no.
Okay, I guess I could
Yeah,
do a trip
'cause
like that then, because I would have budgeted
think-
1,000 for like just this is how much I'm spending.
But we,
not-
but
not
also
food
let me
trips.
remind you, we
'Cause
did not,
I
we did
went-
not pay for tickets to get into the parks.
Yeah.
We did not pay for parking. We did not
Which,
pay.
to be fair, Omni, if you came, you wouldn't have to either. I could get you in, but
Oh, nice, thank you.
But Jacques got to pay though.
because I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind mentioning numbers for me because I went actually a little more crazy with food and stuff like that than they did, and even I only spent like maybe 400. Like, and that was I went out and was like, I'm somewhat hungry. I'm gonna get a snack.
Scott,
Or,
you went
you
to
know, like,
Scott. You went to one of the
I-
most expensive
we're-
restaurants,
you know,
one of
like,
the
we
more
went to
expensive
Epcot.
restaurants, just to eat before we got there.
Well, yeah, but
Invincibility.
but you get the idea. Like, I went more crazy of being like, I want snacks. I want this. I want to try a bunch of food from around the world at this festival. And even I only spent 300 to 400 total. Now, granted, I didn't buy souvenirs. Well, I bought a few items, but
I should buy.
like,
I should buy more of my son.
I didn't go too crazy.
Oh yeah, the thing I bought.
So
Fucking.
I would say that if you said you were budgeting 1,000, like you'd be more than covered.
Especially if
Like-
you were getting, especially unless you were like buying a souvenir from almost every.
If you
went
went crazy buying souvenirs, that'd be one thing. But like, if you're just buying a few small souvenirs to remember the time and like food, you'd be fine. You're also allowed to bring in food. So if you're only wanting to like eat meals, like you can bring in bags of chips, you can bring in sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. Like
I
that-
over budget
there is
because
no
of
issue.
anxiety. I always
Yeah.
make sure. I take
Well-
But yeah, no, you would have more than enough.
Well, usually when I go to Florida, I do have that. This time because I didn't really have time to really. I didn't have a budget to save in the first place. I really couldn't. So I pretty much had to just wing it, and it worked out. But yeah. Other than the travel back being the worst thing ever. Well, no. The travel, me having to travel back from Dallas to San Antonio one time was the worst. Oh no, I'm not sorry. It wasn't Dallas, San Antonio. It was Houston to San Antonio. I was just at the worst Houston airport trying to get home.
Man, that white mage is booking it.
Because back in 2000 because I went was it 2018 or was it 2017 that I traveled twice in 1 year? Oh wait, no, it was 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. 2018, I went to Florida. I was still living with my parents. I went to Florida twice in 1 year. I didn't actually spend like that much. though, because one of those times I stayed with Scott, and the other time I think I stayed with Scott both times. But no. One time we stayed at the park. But the other time I stayed with you.
One time we split it. The other time, you stayed over here.
Yeah, I stayed over there the second time because the first time I went to the park. Because the first time we went to the parks was when you were sick.
Yeah,
because you got sick.
Yeah,
and you couldn't stay with me.
Yeah, that's when I caught the flu.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
was out at Disney with 104 fever.
In fucking Animal Kingdom.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm sweating way too much, and this fever is barely breaking when I take Tylenol. I probably should go see a doctor.
It's like, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go. It's like I called my mom. I'm going home. I'm gonna go see a doctor. It's like just call me, and it's like just call me. Here's my mom's number. Just call her when you're ready to go. When you're ready to go out to the park, and she'll let you in. And it's exactly what happened. I'm like, okay, I'm on the bus. It's like I'm about to leave on the bus. She's like, okay, she's gonna meet. It's like they're gonna meet you out there, and it's like his parents met me out there. And it's like, hey, it's like here you go, let you in. Here you go, have fun. And then it's like, okay. And then I would call Scott later. Call Scott random points of the day. It's like, how you feeling? How you doing? Are you living? Are you alive? Because I'm not a monster. I'm not gonna let my friend just sit there and suffer in pain. I got Squirtle.
Yeah, that was the only time in 30 years, or at the time about 30 years of living, that I had ever had the flu.
I wish I could say the same thing. I've had the flu 4 times.
Oh yeah, I already took care of it.
That was an interesting time. I went to Florida though. I got to do things by myself. But I did everything at Epcot that day while Scott was gone. I did every single thing.
Epcot ball.
It was interesting.
Epcot,
Before and that was the last time I saw Epcot before, they started changing things willy-nilly.
Sky,
like
have
assholes.
you seen the Epcot ball meme? I might have been a Vine. It's old. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
It's very short, and it's very it's just one of those jokes you kind of get or you don't. It's just this guy who's like, who are you really into? And the guy's like, oh, I love Epcot ball, and the other guy basically ignores him, and he's like, well, I really like this person, and then it cuts back to the first guy, and he drifts off looking into the sky, and he goes Epcot ball, his inner monologue, Epcot ball, and they overshow the Epcot ball like he's dreaming about it.
God. I mean, it is a really nice geodesic dome.
Epcot ball.
Epcot ball.
It's really stupid.
How do I
Alright,
reset
time to
the
start
game?
Final Fantasy V.
How do I reset the game? There we go.
Of course,
My
there
Anyway,
was an update.
My
That's unreal.
vacation starts in less than 2 weeks. I'm so excited.
yay!
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I'm so.
I know you're doing a staycation. I'm gonna be vacationing or I'm gonna try the first week of July for Dawn Trail. Are you
Oh,
taking
cool.
time off, Julian? Julian?
I can't
July?
afford. Well, I already asked for the 2 days at the day it releases and the day after it releases. Now there may be there is the like few couple days before it comes out that they're actually gonna be able to let people play it before they shut down the servers again. Like the week before, like 5 days before they shut it down for 2 whole days. They're gonna. It's
Yeah.
like some people you might be. They are gonna have like essentially a soft opening of it, which is weird.
What are we gonna do, Julian? What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I'm gonna ignore it that day because I'm just gonna jump in with everybody else because I'm not gonna try because I don't want to have to because I think this is them trying to mitigate the opening of
No,
fucking
I'm saying,
Endwalker.
what are we
where
gonna do for the 2 days? It's not available. Like,
Oh, Final Fantasy's not available? I don't know. I'll fucking play something else. I kind of play other
Damn.
things.
Just
I don't,
wait.
I don't think that's a thing.
I do
you're
play
lying.
Omni. I don't play 14
Alright,
all day
so
anymore.
Omni, you have to finish all the triple triad cards by that point.
I
Yeah.
have to before
Yeah.
July. Yeah,
Because you
that's
know
the
they're
hard-
just gonna give you more triple triad. You gotta go get.
Well, I only need them for my immediate goal is the mount. I'll eventually get all of
Yeah.
them, but the mount is the immediate goal.
The mount is the first like milestone.
And I need
swear
8 more cards.
they need to make a triple triad like outfit with like card slots and on a belt or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be Omni's outfit.
Yeah, I want that. That would be awesome.
Kind of like
I use that only when I go to the gold saucer. That would
Well,
be
I
my
guess I'm a
gold
boy
saucer
now. I
outfit.
didn't want to do that, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm resetting the game again.
But
Okay.
during my
Um,
vacation, my parents and I are going out of town on one day, on like the first day of my vacation. I don't know if we're going to do anything else, but we're going out of town
Where?
to the coast.
That's nice.
Yeah.
To see the.
It's nice to live in a coastal state. I don't go nowhere.
You do live in a coastal state. You're just
Have
a
you
ways away from.
Have
You're just a ways away from it.
5
I'm
hour
literally an 8 to 10 hour drive away. Like I'm not going to the coast.
You're-
with any
you're-
ease.
Your
what-
state is a
Omni-
coastal state.
Omni, what
And
do
then
you-
the other thing I was gonna say was that
Whoa.
if you think Galveston is a coast, I mean, you might as well just swim and piss if you're gonna consider that.
No one
the
goes to
coast.
Omni. No one goes to Galveston because it's a port. Essentially,
Yeah,
Scott,
it's-
Galveston is essentially fucking Port Canaveral.
Yeah, it's
Right,
awful.
but,
It's a
like,
meme.
No one goes to the
state of
beaches near there.
Texas is like a coastal state.
Omni,
I don't
Corpus
recognize your
isn't fucking.
capitalist geographical terms.
But
right?
Omni,
What do you
Corpus is like 3 hours away from me, and you're only an hour away from me. So that's only like 4. It's only a 4 or 5 hour drive for you.
I'm 2. I drive safely, so I'm 2 hours away from you.
What do you mean
I
you
don't
drive
drive
safely?
like usual Texans. Texans consider the speed limit a suggestion, and I don't play that way.
Oh, that's how Florida
Yeah,
is as well.
no, I'm a safe driver. So anytime my brother's like, "Oh, it'll take us an hour to get somewhere," I'll be like, "It's gonna take me 2.5 hours." Because I make sure to follow the speed limit and I let people pass. Because fuck these people.
Fast lane, baby.
You're like, it'll take an hour. Okay, I'll see you by sundown.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Get in that fast lane, baby. Fucking let the people who are going even faster than you, and then let the people going faster than you get the tickets.
I'm the people that let the people that go fast go fast.
No, you just stay out of the left lane. You just stay out of the left
Are
lane
you-
and stay in the
no,
right.
I have too much anxiety, my friend. If I go fast, the first thing I'm thinking is like, oh shit, if I hit the wrong thing, my car's gonna flip and I'm dead. That's the immediate
Damn
first
right.
thought I have.
Like,
So I'm a safe driver.
I am terrified of driving. Every time I have to drive, I'm like, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it doesn't stop me, but I know how I'm very safe. Don't you worry.
My defensive driving has turned into offensive driving.
Yeah, yeah. If you're driving in San Antonio, I don't fucking blame you, dude. That place is like the confusion in the layout is the worst part about San Antonio. The worst part about driving in Austin is the aggression of drivers. It is on another level.
Ugh, God, I hated. It's like the people in Austin were like, I remember people in Austin honked at us just because we were going the speed limit on a normal city road
Yep.
in the middle of downtown.
Yep. They're the worst. Driving in Austin is absolutely terrible.
I saw I saw a dude literally swerve around a homeless person in the middle of the street like it was nothing.
Yep. Well, you got to get where you got to go.
Well, I mean, if the homeless person's in the middle of the street, you don't want to hit them. So I would swerve around them.
Sometimes
I'm not just gonna mow them down.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys my homeless people story when I was an asshole to a homeless person?
No.
Did you run them down?
No, I didn't.
I don't know. Was it in Austin? Because some of them deserve it.
Yeah, it was in Austin for sure. It was in Austin. Have you guys ever heard my Bane impression from The Dark Knight Rises?
I'm pretty confident I have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident you've done it on stream.
Is your ally. All that shit,
Yeah.
right? We used to do that all the time. Like me and Sergio and our group of friends. And there was a time, I don't think Sergio was driving with us then, but there was a time I was driving down the highway and I guess it wasn't the highway because there was a stop. There was a stoplight crossing over a highway. There we go. And there was a homeless, and we were laughing. Like we were doing the Bane voice and we were having a good time. We were laughing, right? And then with the windows down, this panhandler was basically like, he leaned over and he said, "Ha ha ha! Everything's so funny." And I looked at him because I was irritated. I was like, "Yeah, everything's fun when you're not a bum." And then we drove off. And I was like, that was pretty mean.
Damn.
But that dude didn't have to be an asshole.
God damn, Omni.
You had to be an asshole, so I was an asshole back to him.
But that's
Well,
what happened. Oh shit!
I don't know.
Okay.
Your story's better than fucking mine, where we were eating at a restaurant, and then eating at the restaurant because we were such a big group for my friend's fucking bachelor party. They made us sit outside of the porch, and then the fucking and then the host person came in through the gate, and then he tried to take a shit in the side of the corner of the thing.
No shitting there.
One of the servers like, "Hey, you gotta get out of here," and he wasn't listening, so he gets the owner, and the owner like pushes him out, but they can't touch them because as soon as they touch them, they get in trouble, and they get a little money. They get in trouble for it or something. I don't know why they didn't touch them, but then and then Jacques with his fucking security guard experience comes up and it's like helps escort him off the thing, and then again it happened again randomly at fucking like 10 o'clock not 10 o'clock, like 8 o'clock at night. Suddenly we hear someone knock at the door, and one of my friends thinks, "Oh, it's one of our other friends." Like, "No, everybody's here. What are you talking about?" And then he he looks out the peephole. It's like, "I don't think that's what someone of ours." Like, "No, it's not. Don't open the door." I'm like, "Don't open the fucking door." Then he opens it anyway. I'm like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with you?" And then she starts talking about someone. It's like someone's here. It's like, "No one's here for you, bitch. This is a goddamn it's a goddamn Airbnb. There's no one here for you. You just saw the lights on in this building that normally usually doesn't have lights on, and just wanted to fucking talk your ass off. So I just wanted to get something from somebody, or fucking take or steal or something. I don't fucking know. But anyway, fucking.
Wow, you just assume that they were trying to steal?
Well, you know what? I can't. The one thing I don't have to assume is she was high on drugs.
Yeah, you probably don't have to. Like, you can probably tell that.
Yeah, fucking
I'm
bitch
confident that you'd be able to be like, yeah.
Yeah, bitch was high as fuck. So, bitch was high as fuck. So, like, while they're like ignoring this woman, while they're like close the door and ignoring this woman while she's still like banging outside the door, fucking, I go in the room, Jacques, and I'm like, "Jacques." Well, also also one of our other friends who does security things. I asked them both, like, "Hey, there's some weird woman at the door. Fucking use your security powers to get her the fuck out of here."
Man, this is
and fucking Jacques just
who's being hit?
Just pulled out his gun.
And it's like, Jacques, well, no, he didn't have it. No, Jacques didn't have that with him. But Jacques,
I died.
I had them go out through the back door. I had to go out through the door we weren't using. And I said, "Make sure she doesn't see you come out this fucking door." Because if she comes anywhere near this door, I'm using something to beat. I'm using this fucking bat that's in this room to beat her down with it. Because no one's coming here. We had fucking video games and shit, and so it's like, no, I'm not having them come and steal our shit. And also, get her away. And also, the cars were in that direction, so I didn't want them breaking into our cars either. None of them are mine, but I didn't want them breaking into Jacques and our friends' cars. So Jacques. So I'm just looking out the window. So I'm looking out the window next to the fucking thing, seeing Jacques like escort her off, and like our other friends calling the essentially
really
on the phone with like
police
the police, I think, or something. And then suddenly a car drives up, she gets it, and then like she gets it. She like waves the jock. She gets in it, and then she drives off. And it's like, oh, I see. And that's why I assumed that they were trying to steal something or like convince someone so they could get something or get something out of somebody. Because, like I said, these lights aren't usually on. It's an Airbnb. But so yeah, that happened. That was fun. And also the random other amount of homeless people I saw on the side of the road just driving, and like this one black dude sitting in the middle of the 100-degree sun, baking, mine fried, dick in hand, just holding on to it while sitting on a bench in public.
Hey, he was gonna make sure you weren't stealing it.
He wasn't doing anything to it. He wasn't moving it. He was just staring up into the sky, holding on to it.
He's gonna have an issue when it's sunburned, but
this dude was already clearly sunburned.
Yeah, but now
his brain was baked. I don't know if he was high or just baked from, or his brain was fried from the sun. It's just, and then this other random group of homeless people who were just like, who one was just like slumped over fucking like on the side of the road, like just, and then like I just see a puddle underneath them. And then they get up and just like shake off their pants and squeeze in between their leg and just move on. I'm like, what the hell? Did she just piss herself randomly for no reason?
I mean, hey,
It's like at what point it started becoming depressing.
Well, yeah.
I mean, being homeless is kind of a depressing thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the homeless people in the inner city, like there's a difference when there's like homeless people who like want something, and then the homeless people who are there because they have completely like destroyed their brains for drugs or any other such means, or like through like fucking like mental or like the fucking veterans who have mental conditions. That's when it gets sad. It's like, and it's like the ones with mental conditions, like, oh, okay, this is fucking sad. It's like you don't have your full mental faculties with you anymore. So I feel sorry for you, like really I do, but I don't have, but also I ain't too much either. I'm one jobless thing from being on the side of the road myself. A couple months being jobless, and I'll be on the side of the road too. So fucking like I can't afford to give you anything.
Yeah, it's scary right now, man.
It's like it's fucking crazy. So
like I can't speak for you guys, but I don't have a family where like if we fall, we can support each other for a long time. Like, it's just, if you're out, you gotta find a way to get yourself back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I do and don't. It's kind of, it's a double-edged sword of we are all living on paycheck by paycheck, and pretty much it's like what, and if I fall, and the old people who get the old people with their government checks aren't gonna be able to save everybody. They can't even save themselves. I have to pretty much help them with shit all the time. Anyway, well, sometimes. Mostly car things. Learning how to do car stuff from Lowe's, not Lowe's, from Walmart, actually, before I left it, actually helped me keep my parents from keep my mom from just throwing her car to the wind with anybody who's gonna fix her fucking tire.
Will you guys please pay attention to me? Not you. Not you. These.
Yeah.
No, Omni, I don't want to pay attention to you.
No, senpai, pay attention.
No, Omni, I don't want to pay attention to you. You smell.
I do smell. God damn it. I didn't even see that green slime because it was hitting the body of the bigger slime.
Omni,
So now that
it's
I heard Final Fantasy V, I had to rename my character the correct name.
you named him Butts, didn't you?
As it should be. His name is Butts, and he should be proud of his name.
It's not Butts. It's supposed to be Barts. It's the English again.
It's Butts.
Yeah, it is.
His name is Butts.
I guess technically, if you were gonna do it, it would be Battsu, Batsu. If you wanted to be all Romanji about it.
I am so happy about this emulator. It's so
glad you're
wonderful to play. It's so wonderful to play my old games again.
Wait, what are you playing right now?
My Sims on DS.
Oh,
Girls do be loving The Sims.
this is very true.
I had a My Sims on what was it? I think the Wii from a long time ago.
Oh no, not My Sims on the Wii. That game is mindless and just not good.
Oh, I have fun with it. So I'm playing My Sims on the DS one.
But you know, it had to live up to, you know, after playing the herbs. So for me,
Oh, you mean you liked the urban?
Oh,
Fucking
I don't think I'm gonna use
Sims.
canon
Well,
names for
no,
5.
I
think
did
I'm gonna
like
use
Sims
Omni
3.
and
I
them,
did
but
enjoy
think in
playing
6 I'm
Sims
gonna
3.
start using the names, the canon names.
Nah.
I'm still gonna do Omni and naming my characters whatever I want.
Nah, I figured
But-
like once they start actually naming them, then they're wanting me to like care more about them and make them more characters. So I'm like, all right, I'll actually have the canon names versus like the
It's gonna be
first 3
me.
where
It's gonna
pretty much
be
just,
me.
like, there's no one
Yeah.
like
Oh
no
fuck! I
canon
forgot.
names. This is just a self-insert.
So Omni, when you play Final Fantasy 8, are you gonna name it after people you hate?
No. Like I said, like 6 is probably gonna be where I start doing my names or like the canon names. So 6 and then forward will probably be canon names.
But why would
Why
you call
start
him
at
Squall?
6?
Why would you call him Squall when
Because
you
I want
could
to play
call
with Terra. I feel like Terra's an actual character.
you could call him Cool Ranch?
I mean, technically, you don't know about 5 and whether they feel like actual characters.
Technically speaking, I don't know anything.
God,
so
I
I'm
can't
going
remember
blind.
which game it was.
So
I can't remember
I
what.
don't have the hangups like you do. I'm just gonna go in fucking Omni, and then I'm gonna name them something. Maybe like
So-
Monster Hunter characters, like Monster Hunter NPCs or something. The handler will be my white mage.
Grandmaster.
The Grandmaster.
So,
Do they have a
Scott-
cooking class in that game? Maybe.
So Scott, you know
I
about
honestly don't remember.
speedrun stuff, right?
What?
Yes, I know what speedruns.
So do you know about the Final Fantasy 7 speedrun when they named Tifa Cool Ranch and Aerith Beefaroni?
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
God, it makes me laugh. Brings a smile on my face every time I hear it.
I mean, if I was gonna change her name, it would obviously be to FIFA. But that's because I'm a degenerate.
What'd you rename Aerith to?
You mean you should already do it?
I don't know. I'd probably name her Aerith.
Dead girl walking.
FIFA's the only one that I think is hilarious.
What was it in Final Fantasy 7 I think I named Aerith Dead by Disc 3.
Well, yeah.
Does that even fit? Does that even fit, you asshole?
Like, I think that was her name.
I don't even think
I'll
that
probably
fits,
change
you
your name from
jackass.
Aerith to Aerith though, because I like Aerith better than Eris.
Well,
You guys don't follow the FGC like I do, and there's a streamer named Eris, and he's very different from Aerith.
because oh my god, the Aerith. Do you know people still debate that? It's like they put the official name now. Everybody, stop debating this.
I mean, to me, it's just as long as you're not saying like one's official, but at the same time, like call her whatever the fuck you want. Like, I mean, there's a reason they do technically give you the naming thing. Like as much as I bring it up with, Omni renaming it, like you can just rename these characters, like in every single Final Fantasy up until what 15.
Boobs
Oh my
and
God.
Pink. Her name is
Maybe
Tifa's name is
13
Boobs,
was where
and
it
your name is
stopped.
Pinky.
What, naming your character?
Yeah.
10.
Could you name your characters in 12?
You could name. Only character
No.
you could change the name
So-
of
His name in 10.
and is Titus. That's it. And the Aeons, and that's it.
Can you change them in 12?
No.
Then
No.
12. Because technically in 11 you
Yeah,
can name
'cause-
them whatever you want. Exactly.
Yeah, and in 10 you could change Titus's name.
Yeah. But
So-
12 then.
And I feel like it was mostly because they started introducing voice acting and
Yeah,
that.
narratives and shit like that.
Yeah. But like all of the older ones, I mean, there's a reason they give you the option to change names. So whether you like Aerith or Eris, like, oh well,
Yeah.
who the fuck cares?
So 5, I'll probably name them unique names, and then 6, I'll go with the canonical names.
Nah, I'm
going
gonna
forward.
change Squall's name. I'm gonna change all the Final Fantasy 8 characters' names.
Yeah, go for it. You
I
do
mean,
you,
you can.
baby.
Like,
Oh, I should go find
As-
a bed. Where are beds?
as long as you know the
wanna
names
try this
for when we're
James Ghost
actually
thing.
talking about the
In the inn.
about the game, that's all that matters.
Is it just the inn?
You have
Can I go
beds
to
in the
your room and
inn?
lay in your bed?
Yeah,
your
I don't
bed
have a
room
bed in my.
open?
I don't have a bed in my room. I have one
You
in my
slut.
apartment.
You
I have one at
dirty,
my. I
dirty-
have a bed at my apartment. If you want to go with that one,
You dirty dog.
Omni, the bed in the bed in the room, my FC room is a fucking bathhouse in the FC. So it's a fucking
That's
bathhouse.
disturbing.
You slut.
All right, so
Me and
I
Zonek
do-
had gay sex in Saralina's house.
Anyway.
I'm gonna go to bed.
I would say I'm surprised.
Okay, Saralina.
You shouldn't be.
Alright.
Alright.
Good night, Saralina.
Good night. Oh, I will talk to you guys later. Try not to cause too much chaos.
Yeah.
that's
just
a hard
I'm
ask.
probably gonna end stream a little bit early because I'm hungry tonight. I'm very hungry. I don't know why.
You're a
I
hungry boy.
think I should end stream not too much sooner too, because I just remember
Alright.
I have
Okay,
work.
bye.
I have to be ready to go to work at 8 in the morning. My work's not till 9, but
Fine.
I have to be taken to work tomorrow.
Oh, I can lay in a bed. This is very sexy. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
Or I'm
Did
going
not
to
know
take
you could lay in a bed.
I never tried it. I didn't really care to lay in a bed. There's no reason to do it. Can lay in a bed. I gotta change pose. Hold on, I gotta take off my shirt.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Unequip. There we go. I gotta show feet. Unequip shoes.
It doesn't show feet. You still
Man,
have
why you
sandals on.
I was gonna say, why are you showing feet? You can charge good money for that.
No,
Yeah, oh,
no. When
Don't
you
give
take
that
off
away
your
free.
when you take off your shoes in in Final Fantasy 14, it still has
change
sandals.
pose.
They don't show feet.
Yeah, this was before feet were acceptable. Oh yeah, if you did the push-up emote on me, you'd totally be having sex with me. Holy shit. How were they not thinking about this? Oh my god, this is straight up
Well, because they weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't considering.
Or
these
maybe they
things.
were. Maybe they were just like, you know what? It's fine. We want to cater to all players.
You know, except for a good chunk of the roleplay community. A good chunk of the roleplay community is starting to fucking drift over to modding their games so much that that their characters and fucking shit is unrecognizable as 14, which is fine. But then when you go vanilla and suddenly you lose interest in the game, maybe you shouldn't have been fucking with the game in the first. Maybe you should have been fucking around with the game in the first place. Because it
Yeah,
sounds
they're gonna
like because it stops being
fucking
Final
Doctor
Fantasy
comes out.
14 and for some people it stops being Final Fantasy 14 and becomes and it turns into fucking Second Life or them fucking playing IMBU or whatever it is.
You can do it. I don't have a problem with that.
That's not a problem with it. It's just that, it's like the people I know in the roleplay community who complain about this. It's like, when's the last time I actually saw you do content?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, there's gonna be all
actual
kinds of
content,
fuck when Dontrell releases,
actual
'cause all those mods are
content
gonna
that wasn't the main
crash.
story. That wasn't the main story when it came out, and then you went right back to role playing as soon as it was over.
Yeah, I feel like as a player, I've done more in this game than a lot of players, just because my tastes are very varied. I do a lot of everything.
Because collecting is in your blood and
It's wild.
meaningless tasks are just the norm.
Omni, I think I hit the maximum amount of points I can get on your thing because it won't let me collect anymore.
What? How many?
It
points
only
do you
collects
have?
every once in a while.
10K. 10,600. I had 10,600. I had to get rid of some of it.
Nah, I'm pretty sure you
have a
can
lot
collect more than that,
10K
yeah.
in
I don't
that
know. It
time.
said it wouldn't let me collect anymore. It kept giving me errors.
Oh, sometimes
Well,
you have
it
to,
just
like,
might be an
refresh the
error.
stream or whatever. Twitch is shit, dude. I don't
Well,
know if you know this.
Well,
Thanks for
well,
the Titanic flute.
yeah, I'm just gonna keep pressing buttons now. There
For
we
it.
go. Let's see.
Early one.
There we
Got
go.
him.
Okay, I got rid of some of them. Ooh, did I get Oak's parcel? There it is, Oak's parcel.
Pokemon now?
Yeah, I'm playing Leaf Green.
Who's your starter?
Squirtle.
Good choice.
I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick Bulbasaur because I'm gonna be honest. There are other grass types I want to use. We don't like Charmander in this house.
Yeah, I don't like to speak for other people, but I'm pretty sure your chat has a Bulbasaur bias. Bulba bias.
One person has Bulbasaur bias. I don't know about Bobby.
Bobby's a Squirtle one like me.
Oh, Bobby's a squirter? Say less, baby.
Yeah.
Me, I couldn't care less. I've used all 3 of them and beaten the game with all 3 of them multiple times.
What the fuck is out here? The ocean? I'm trying to level up my Dark Knight to 90. I'm 2 levels away, but I already did all my roulettes. There's not a quick way to get experience anymore. Wait for tomorrow.
Beast Tribes.
I'm doing Beast Tribes right now. That'll get me like around a little under 3 million, but
I've actually been doing the crafting ones. I've been doing the Moogle ones recently to make my crafting stuff level up faster, and also to actually see what that area looks like actually crafted instead of it just being a hunk of rubble. And then once I get past level 7, and then once I get to level 70, I can start working on the. Once I get to level 70, I can start working on the fucking dwarves, which it's kind of fucked up that they call it, that they consider them a tribal race when they're
a tribe.
Where they're, it's like they're Lalafels with just helmets on, bearded helmets on. That's wrong. They still called them beast tribes when they came out. It was so weird.
Well, it's not called beast tribe. They're not beast tribes anymore.
Not anymore.
Right? Yeah, see, it's because they became more open and inclusive. They grew as the Scions grew because they stopped being just openly racist and started to be welcoming.
Well, what's the fact they're being racist? Well, unless you're the seed seer, then she's racist.
She's very racist.
Speaking of Lalafels, I was, if I could have figured out how to make like a what is it, the spoiler tag on a photo, because it's a pain in the ass unless you're on PC. I was gonna have like troll the you all with the Final Fantasy 14 be like, oh, look at this sexy potato, and then just have you click on it and just be a potato with like lingerie on, like an actual fucking potato.
Sad thing is, I know someone who's actually into modded potatoes. It's very distressing.
I don't like that.
It's very distressing.
I'm not gonna judge them, but I don't accept accept it.
No, it's very distressing. It's like, yeah, I get it. They're supposed to be adults, but maybe Square don't make the obvious adults do childish movements, act like children, sound mostly like children.
At least, like, if you're going to make them like, be adults.
Yeah, all the Lalafels have childish fucking movements and expressions, and it's like I'm people who like keep Lalafels out of fucking like the 18 and up role play such as like, no, you don't do that, don't do that, but you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to talk to them. It's like. But it's like don't keep them out, but you don't have to interact with the ones who want to do like fucking creepy shit. Maybe they just want to be Lalafels who get drunk. It's fine, but then there's suddenly this fucking stupid ass Twitter movement about people being like, stop Lalafell hate. It's like, y'all, this is not a big deal. It's just a video game.
I can't. I mean, it's all fake biology and shit, but I do want to say, if I could be a Lalafell who gets drunk, I would do that, because assuming their biology is similar to a regular humans, it would not take a lot. You would get fucking trashed.
Yeah, I would figure that
so fast.
their biology is mostly similar to humans, just on a smaller scale.
Oh, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them though.
Yeah.
There's a fucking
the way that they are in I was about to say the Iliad, the dwarven versions of them, they seem like they can drink a lot though. So I think it is fantasy bullshit where like they're small but they can drink a lot. I don't know how it works, but if assuming they were pound for pound compared to human, I would love to be a drunk Lalafell. I think that'd be so fun. You just fucking get trashed.
I mean, the main dwarf from level 70 healer quests is always drunk. Like,
yeah,
she's always.
The times I didn't skip dialogue, I liked reading him because he was always a fucking lush the whole time.
It's a she.
It's a she.
Yeah, it's a woman
But
over
I
there.
could not pay attention. They all seem the same to me.
Well, because they all
Damn.
believe in wearing their helmets with beards because that makes them adults and people. If they don't have beards, they're nothing.
Yeah, they're like I do like the Final Fantasy IV reference. It's so weird to me that there's so many 4 references in well, I guess it isn't weird. It's just more like I noticed. There's so many 4 references in Endwalker, and there's so many 4 references in Shadowbringers.
Well, yeah, isn't the lunar whales in fucking Final Fantasy 14?
Yes, I only got that link recently, but then the whole story of Shadowbringers is basically 3: the imbalance of dark and light, and you're saving the world by bringing more light, by bringing darkness.
Yeah, you are essential. It's essentially it's the story from 3 that you don't see.
Yeah, like the opposite side, since
Yeah,
they only show up at the very fucking end.
Mm-hmm. And technically, if it wasn't for if it was lifted up, essentially the whole part of Shadowbringers would have been essentially like would have been like 3 except opposite. Except there was like light that covered everything instead of a huge pile instead of darkness that covered everything.
Yeah.
But unlike in 3, when you fix it, they don't suddenly just act like they don't suddenly come back to life and act like nothing happened. No.
Remember
In
at the end of
Shadowbringers, everybody's dead. The flood of light
we didn't
killed
talk-
people.
I know you said you liked Desh, but I thought it was when Desh died, quote unquote, I was like, oh wow, the ancients do not get a good. There's not a good history for ancients surviving in these games. And then like Desh just pops his head out like, oh hey, no, I was fine. There's like no reason to worry about me.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I guess he's fine. Whatever.
Well, he's fine now. Well, you gonna travel with us? Fuck no.
Again, why I said like they really overcorrected in 3 the certain things, and then they just keep overcorrecting in certain ways. So
Well, they did
I'm
the
really
same
excited
thing
to
in
see
4.
how it's balanced in 6.
The same thing in 4.
I
It's
know,
like
I know, I
everyone's
mentioned that.
dying. Children.
I mentioned they brought the drama back, but to not as much as an extent as 2. But then they got rid of the job system, so the gameplay was less nuanced and more focused. They overcorrected there too, but for the better, I think. And I can't wait to see how it is.
It is really interesting to see that like no Final Fantasy game is exactly the same as the previous one. And I think that's actually kind of a fun evolution of it.
Yeah, it's so annoying when people are like, "This isn't Final Fantasy. This isn't my Final Fantasy. This isn't the Final Fantasy. This is." What? I was like, they're all so different.
Yeah, and it's one thing that, like, with those types of people, like I used to be one when I was a lot younger, until I realized, like, no, these are all fucking way different games. Like, it's all just hey, we had this innovative idea. Let's try this out. Like, instead of just making the same gameplay system, they're like, no, let's innovate each game. You know, we tried this. No, that didn't work. Let's try this one. You know, oh, people liked it, but we can make it better. You know, like
Sometimes
different things like that. Like, I think Final Fantasy 16 is a better gameplay version of Final Fantasy 15. Like, they took a lot of what worked in 15 and got rid of some of the stuff that didn't work in 15's gameplay.
And hired someone who actually knows what the fuck they're doing when it comes to action games.
I don't know about all that, but
they hired the person that made Devil May Cry 5. Worked on Devil May Cry 5.
Well, yeah, and Kingdom Hearts. But
and they had people from fucking Platinum doing boss fights. I swear those boss fights were Platinum. They had to have been by Platinum.
Once again, the dude who helped make Devil May
worked on it, so that makes sense.
The dude who helped make Devil May Cry, who also was part of the people who helped make all those other action games, made it. So duh.
Yeah. Well, no, it seems specifically Platinum for the.
In
bosses,
terms,
but
yeah, when you play it, if you've ever played Bayonetta or a Platinum game, not a Devil May Cry game, but a Platinum game, you'll see the link is like very obvious.
But the guys who came from Platinum were the ones who made Devil May Cry.
You're not catching the nuance of
Platinum
it, Julian.
didn't make Devil May Cry.
No,
you have to experience like Astral Chain, Bayonetta, a Wonderful 101 to
it's a very specific style.
How a Platinum action game feels compared to other ones. It feels like a Platinum game. what was I going to say? The thing you're saying, because I've had months and years to sort of put it in my head and sort of wrap my head. The phrase that I've come up with it for that is, or my thesis, if I was ever going to make like a paper on it or something. As gamers, because we're so engaged in this medium, we have a habit of conflating gameplay with identity. So in the case of Final Fantasy, if your Final Fantasy is using the ATB system and you play a game that doesn't have the ATB system, even if it has crystals and jobs and Sid and all these other things that are Final Fantasy in spirit, theme, narrative, you won't recognize it as a Final Fantasy game because you're conflating ATB with identity.
Right.
And the same thing happens in other games. Call of Duty is Call of Duty because of the shooting, and then when the shooting changes, it's no longer Call of Duty. It can have everything else it could be innovative, it could be even better, but it's not Call of Duty because you changed the gameplay in some way.
Yeah,
and
that's what
gamers
annoyed me
conflate that.
so much with Final Fantasy 16 is that people kept being like, "It's not Final Fantasy." It's like, the fuck it isn't.
One of
like,
the most Final Fantasy
it's
games.
like it's like Final Fantasy 9 in the sense that it was a love letter to like every other Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy 9 was like, "Hey, here's a bunch of references, here's a bunch of all this." And 16's like, "Hey, here's a bunch of references." Like, the creator loved Final Fantasy's lore as a general thing, and it's like, yeah, like, let's just make a bunch of lore stuff, let's do this. Like, it is so Final Fantasy that, like, it can't possibly be less Final Fantasy. Like,
my whole, well, for some people, I know that the only thing that kept them from playing 9 was the art style.
yeah, but funnily enough, 9's art style aged the best out of the 3 like PlayStation 1 games because the fact of the art style looked different. Like the blocky style of 7 looks weird. Final Fantasy 8 tried to be too realistic and looks really bad.
It looks awful.
Have you seen the meme where it's like Renoa saying he's the most handsome guy here?
Yeah.
Zoom in on his
He's just like a blurry ass face.
It's so funny to me.
It's so bad. Like, for me, Final Fantasy never was about the gameplay. It was more about the story feel of how it felt. And if the story was good, it felt like a Final Fantasy. And if it hit those Final Fantasy notes, like, I don't want to be that person, but I'm gonna have to be that person. People who apologize for 13, I don't know what I'm sorry. I like some of the characters in it. Lightning's a badass. Snow in the first 2 games is fine.
Like Snow.
In the third game, what the fuck did they
hate
do?
Hope. Hope can fucking drop off a cliff.
Hope is annoying, and Hope is just
yeah. Fuck him.
Omni, you're gonna have to understand when it comes to children and RPGs, Scott's the worst person to get an opinion from.
He's
why are they always annoying little shits? Yeah,
because they're children. They're children.
Children
suck. Fucking Final Fantasy 3, they were children too, and they weren't bad.
How old were they? Because that wasn't really clear to me.
So in the original Famicom, they were supposed to be like 6 or 7
years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they felt
in the DS version, they're supposed to be about 14.
Yeah, they look older in the cinematic.
Yeah, the DS version, they aged them to 14.
That's still really young, though.
But yeah, originally they were supposed to be like 6.
I mean, Omni. 5 is the first game. First game to have a is going to be the first game that has a protagonist that is not a teenager.
Oh, what are you doing,
that is wrong.
One of the protagonists is not a teenager in that one.
They weren't teenagers in the first one.
4 had Tella, which very much not a child.
Well, he's not one.
Tella is a party member. He is.
There's a lot of party members in 4. They introduced
4 also has Yang, who is very much a party member and is not a child.
But how they're all
and
such
Sid,
revolving doors.
who is very much a party member and not a child.
Most of them are such revolving doors in that game.
Every
Well, okay, let me
I'm
rephrase
sorry.
it.
Final
The first,
Fantasy 4 and 6 have a problem with revolving door parties.
well, the first 4 party members, the
Um,
first main like party members you get
But-
is like an old guy.
Two kind of had that with the fourth party member always revolving, but not nearly as much
Yeah.
as 4 did. I haven't played 6, so I can't speak. Although I've heard the cast is huge.
The cast is huge, and then
Yeah,
you have
it-
optional cast members you can get, which make it
yeah,
even bigger.
it's
Yeah.
you're gonna end up with a lot of party swapping, like where certain people are inaccessible at times. But
I'm excited.
Well, that's
to
because
play that.
the plot forces. the
but
plot
we'll
forces
we'll
it
get
down.
to that when we get to that.
Yeah,
But no,
Why am
but
I-
like no,
what's
they've
my-
had adults.
not
Like
gonna
Final
be
Fantasy 1, there were adults.
Yeah, I was about to say like they're adults in 1.
Well, I didn't feel like they were adults. Didn't feel like they were adults.
I'm pretty
don't feel- they don't
confident
feel
they
like
were
they're
adults. Like,
I know when you evolve that thing, suddenly they just get fucking they look
Fucking
crazy.
yoked, dude. The warrior fucking gets yoked, man. My dude.
And it's like and then especially like the
Oh,
white mage.
shit,
It's like
misclick.
did they pump the white mage full of steroids? Because suddenly it's like what the hell, man.
Just click. I accidentally living dead. Luckily, it doesn't kill you like it used to. But still.
That's Final Fantasy 14. No. Okay, the Warrior of Light in Final Fantasy 1 is considered to be around their mid-20s.
You know what? They are adults because canonically in Stranger of Paradise, you as Chaos get to fight them in the
Oh
DLC,
my
and
God.
the party is adults. The party's adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do know that means that after all that shit you did in Stranger of Paradise, you're getting your cheeks clapped by fucking a bunch of level 5s.
Wait, what do you mean? Who's level 5s?
The
At the beginning of the game?
yeah.
Yeah, well, you've been fighting for like
the
1,000 years.
whatchamacallit, the main cast at the end of fucking at the end of fucking
Wait, what am I doing?
at the
Oh,
end of
wait,
Stranger
I'm
of
doing it.
Paradise, technically you're gonna be fighting like the Warrior of Light, and it's like the Warriors of Light, and it's like they're like level 5s, and you're like this badass that did all this shit, and suddenly you're getting your cheeks clapped in by a bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the reasoning for that, because there's reasoning for that.
And then also, come to think about it, it's like, wait a minute, why would you become the embodiment of if you're trying to help them, why would you then later on become the embodiment of once again become the embodiment of destruction? What changed? What changed?
They went
Sid
back
Garland.
in time to fight a
Say
younger
Jack Garland.
version of you. They went back. So when you beat them the first time, Jack has been fighting for like thousands of years, and they beat him. But that isn't the end of their journey. That's just the start, because then you have to go do the crystals and all that bullshit to save the world. And then when you do that, you travel through time, because Final Fantasy introduced time travel in the first fucking game. And you fight a younger, more powerful version of Jack or Chaos. And that's the one that's more akin to the one you've leveled and built in Stranger of Paradise.
Yeah.
But
No, they're definitely considered
But
adults.
after everything
like,
that
the Warrior
happened-
of Light.
yeah, but after
You know,
everything that happened in Strangers of Paradise, fucking why in the fuck would he let himself? Why in the fuck would he go back? Let himself fucking get fucking possessed by the actual god of discord. After realizing he needs to, they're gonna be the four fiends to save everybody. Why in the hell would they let themselves be used by actual chaos again?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay, so Garland.
I've beaten both of them.
So
I'm
remember,
trying to
in
remember
Final
what
Fantasy
you're
1,
talking
Garland
about.
becomes chaos.
Yeah, Garland is already Chaos in Final Fantasy 1. He's already been Chaos for years, and he's been fighting for multiple Warriors of Light through multiple dimensions.
Yeah, because it's his destiny to become actual chaos in the original game.
He is Chaos at that point.
So why is it in Strangers of Paradise, when he's already gone through that shit of being chaos, suddenly he decides, I'm going to test the Warriors of Light by fighting them as Garland and being the Four Fiends? Okay, that makes sense. So then when they go back in time, why in the fuck, when you see them again, are you even bothering with the chaos part?
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Chaos, literally, Chaos's whole thing is Chaos's like MO in the original game is just
Remember,
is
he's
destruction.
lying. He's in the first game. If we're including Strangers of Paradise as canonical, everything he says to you is basically a lie. Like, he's aware of what he's doing. He wants warriors. He wants to die. He wants to die to the Warriors of Light. So anything that he says or does is a trick to make them stronger to beat him.
But they're
He
already
wants them
stronger to
to
beat him in the past anyway. When he's like super strong, why would he even bother with the whole transforming into chaos, transforming into the multi-armed monster of chaos?
Are you talking about like the second phase of his fight in
Where
the in the game?
In the original game, when you beat Garland again, fucking he turns into chaos.
Because it's just a Final Fantasy thing. He just turns
Yeah.
into chaos.
So why in Strangers of Paradise does he do it then?
He doesn't. Well, I mean, like, you limit break basically.
Because it makes no sense that he would go back. That it's like after all that shit of just trying to defy himself from being the chaos that the fucking Cid of the Lufranes all wanted and all that shit. Why would he go back to doing the chaos thing and then the Cid of the Lufrane win anyway?
The future people wanted him to cause chaos because it powered their future like lifestyle, and so they would have multiple worlds where they would let a world be destroyed, and the energy from the destroyed world they would absorb to keep their lifestyle going. And they had Jack continuously do that without knowing, so that he would just keep destroying worlds. And so, but I don't know if you played through all the or got through all the DLC, but he kills them. So there isn't a future world for them to absorb the energy of. Now he just wants the Heroes of Light to beat him.
I just feel like it's.
Yeah, it's all. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's all very circular, which is kind of thematic for them, but it's also time travel bullshit. Like, the answers are there. You just gotta play the game and look for them. Because I was at the time, I think if you watch my VOD of the when I beat it, I explained everything because it all made sense, and I spent like 20 minutes connecting one in Stranger of Paradise. It makes sense. It's still a little annoying. He's all he plays a Walkman, but it is what it is. He's fucking chaos.
Yes, it's like, he plays I love it. He gave the princess the fucking song. He gave a princess in the game during the game, gave her the song that is the prelude, and then suddenly fucking randomly one of the girls who's actually part of the world starts humming it. They're like, oh, Princess played that on her lute. It's like, yeah, it's a local song that all of us know. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Fucking, he just gave her that song like literally 2 stages ago. What the fuck?
Remember, like, that the version that you play is not the first time he's been there. Like, he's destroyed and been through the world multiple times.
So it's like a time loop, and it's a time loop, and it's not.
It all has like echoes of each other, but yeah, it's time travel bullshit.
So.
I would never, ever in my life write a story that included time travel because it's so needlessly confusing. But the answers are there if you look for them. You play it. It's a good game. And if you love Final Fantasy 1, like, the narrative makes a lot more sense.
My head hurts.
Well,
trying to pay attention to the story while knowing Final Fantasy 1 made my head hurt.
Yeah, time travel will do that to you. I liked it, though. I loved it. I'll even go so far as to say I did love it. It's a good game.
Especially it's like, because especially how the game starts. It's like, oh, you're just here, and then suddenly it's like, oh, look, Garland's killing people. Awesome.
It's goofy,
and then
but you're
suddenly,
not supposed to know that Garland.
And then
chaos,
suddenly
so.
You're killing Tiamat, and then suddenly
it
pulls out
reveal.
and then it pulls Frank Sinatra out of nowhere. Fucking, it's like, what's going on? What's happening? And then you cut to a bunch of the 3 jack-offs holding vibrating black crystals, just they're talking about, hey, we must be teammates. And then one dude's just complete and total asses them, and they just keep going with it.
Well, remember They were purposely feeding a contrivance because they remembered the past. They were trying to get Jack to remember it so that he could start his chaos mission. But at the time of that, they already knew him and they knew each other. The whole game is them slowly guiding him to remember everything.
So they were lying to him
So
the
that
entire time.
Yeah, again, they were lying to him.
Oh boy.
You got to play the game. If you go by like the what do you call it, the synopses or YouTubers that like to yell into their camera, it's gonna seem really dumb. But the pacing of the game and the reveals as they happen, they feed into the narrative. Like, it's a good game. It's if you give it a chance and you start to recognize it's a true prequel to one, it all makes sense, and it'll blow your fucking mind. Unfortunately, it takes a while to get there, and people... Ow! What the fuck? Ow.
You know, maybe if you're gonna make a sandwich, maybe use sandwich pieces instead of fucking... Maybe start using sandwich pieces instead of using fucking seasonings and hoping for the best.
Also, go back to the original thing that got us on all of that about the character ages and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Julia, like, most Final Fantasy characters are considered adults.
You know what? I think I'm thinking of...
Because I looked up, like, the canon age of, like, all the Final Fantasy characters, and they're pretty much all adults.
The only
Yeah.
ones I can think of that were under
Like-
18 were 8 and 4, or 3 and
7?
maybe 15. No, 7, they're in their mid-20s.
No,
Except
he's
for
not.
Yuffie. Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
How old is he?
Cloud isn't... He's 21 by the time you get to Advent Children.
I don't know if that's right.
In the remake, he's 21.
I'm in the middle of a fight. Can you look up the age?
No, I guess he is 21 in the original Final Fantasy.
Mentally, he's fucking like... What?
Well,
So-
we're not
he's
gonna
still
talk
like
about
17
his brain.
mentally.
His brain is scrambled eggs. I'm not going to start that conversation.
But yeah, I know Squall is
Well,
under...
he's in high
So,
school.
Yeah, here's all the character ages.
Cloud was
Let's
an
go-
adult. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go through all. Furion from 2 was 18. 3 we
Onion
already
Knight.
talked about was like 14. In the like newer one. Cecil from 4 was 20 years old in the
That's
original.
pretty young for being like for all the murder they made him do.
Yeah. Bart's for 5 is 20.
Bart's is 20? Fuck off.
Bart's is 20.
How is he 20? He acts like a he
That's
acts like
what
he's
it- that's
he acts
what
like
he's
he acts
listed
like
as.
a child. He acts like a goddamn child.
The Japanese guide lists him as 20 years old.
Fucking Japanese don't know what a 20-year-old is.
20-year-olds act like fucking childs as well. Like,
No.
I
Bart's
mean,
is like
think
super
about how
childish.
immature we acted at 20.
Yeah, but
Most-
Bart's is like crazy
Yeah,
childish.
most Final Fantasy protagonists are adults. Most of them.
Terra from 6 is 18. And then Cloud is 21, apparently. Squall is 17. Zidane is 16.
Don't
Wait, how
mean-
did you say Squall was? I'm in the middle of a
17.
dungeon. 17. Okay, yeah. He's in high school.
Yeah, and then Zidane from 9 is 16. And then Titus is 17 in Final Fantasy 10.
Jesus is 17?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
I thought he would have been a little bit older.
No.
yeah, Yuna is also 17.
Well, you know, he had to age really well because he had a father who was in the closet.
Whoa,
so-
Yuna turned 18 and then she went from wearing modest skirts to fucking whore clothes.
I heard
In
a
10-2,
thing-
she is 19, Julian. She is 19 in 10-2.
Yeah, but she
I-
went from 17, 8, and then as soon as she turned 18, she said, "Fuck modest clothing."
Well, there's a whole thing because she was influenced by Riku, and we could go into that whole conversation whenever we play 10. But
Yeah, she's also an independent woman that can make her own decisions.
she's learning to be an independent woman. So she's trying all kinds of things to find her own
yeah,
voice.
Like feeling her
what
friends
was
in
I
a hot
gonna
spot
say?
for some reason.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Fuck, you guys said something, and I was gonna say something, and then Julian got all misogynist on me.
yeah, we were talking about Titus being 17, You mentioned about like his.
Oh, I was gonna
in
make
the
a
closet
joke
father.
because he has. Yeah, I was making a joke because his father's in the
Yeah,
closet. So he had
which
to do a lot of
apparently
growing up.
Oron is 35 in that.
Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. Oh fuck, I lost it again. God damn it, I can't remember.
That's
I'm
on
in a
you.
dungeon and I'm trying to remember these jokes and something else happened.
That's on you,
Oh,
bitch.
there was a theory because there was a guy that I was watching on YouTube and he's like a huge Final Fantasy X fan. Did they have sex in the river or did they just kiss? Because
Yes.
obviously they're not gonna show sex.
My
Okay.
theory is that they fucked in that river.
I always thought that they just kissed and like had a moment together because she wouldn't have.
Nah, they definitely fucked
she would have
in that
gotten
river.
because she would have gotten pregnant and I don't think she would have wanted to kill her
They wouldn't-
baby.
You don't
knowing
get
she was
pregnant the
gonna
first
die.
time.
I mean, they were in water. It could have just leaked out.
Well, okay. To be fair, it doesn't automatically mean that she's gonna get pregnant just because they fucked one time.
I get that, but I was just
He also could have pulled out. They also could have done anal.
on the opposite
Maybe
side.
that
of the
was what his
spectrum,
father taught him was anal.
on the opposite side of the spectrum.
Stop. Shut
Women
up.
can get pregnant from pre if they're not careful. You know,
Well,
like
yeah,
if we're gonna
but it
be, if
doesn't
we're gonna
also-
open up the whole thing. But
Yeah.
I was like, she wouldn't risk it because I always thought she wouldn't risk it because she was gonna have a baby. Like she
maybe
wouldn't want
Final
to kill
Fantasy
her.
had condoms. Like
So
he just
I
pulled
thought-
out his wallet and it
So
had
I
a condom
thought,
in it.
I thought they just kissed and like had a moment, but I mean I don't really care either way. I'm not gonna fight anybody on it, but I thought they kissed because I don't think she would have wanted to have a baby.
I think it's up to like because they obviously weren't gonna show it back then,
I don't
especially.
leave shit to fans.
But I think
'cause
it's just up
they-
to fan
there are
theory.
people that pair cloud with Aerith, and I can't stand by that.
Because they kept.
Yeah,
because they didn't pay
but
attention
But
to
it's
the
also
story.
a
They
fan
kept pushing
theory
it.
that Jekt and Broska were gay for each other. So.
They're gay. That's not a fan theory. That's canon. I read that in Ultimania.
yeah. Let's see. Vaughn from Final Fantasy 12 was 17.
I never played 12, so I would not have had that.
Lightning is 21.
Fuck.
because she's a
Vaughn.
mercenary. She has a,
Vaughn isn't even the main. Vaughn shouldn't even be called the main character.
yeah, it's a Tidus Eunice situation.
Fuck it. Because
Noctis is
Well, see,
20.
he had to be enough age when he went on that trip.
he was 20 at during the majority of the game and 30 for the very
30
last
at the end
chapter.
of it, yeah.
And then of course Clive is like 3 ages.
yeah, Clive is adult, straight up.
He's well, not when the game starts technically. Like not during the
Technically,
prologue, but yeah.
Technically, you play
But
when it starts. He is an
for-
adult because you see the
when
Tidus.
yeah,
When the game
but
exactly starts, like we're going to be talking technicalities. He is an adult when it starts, but you immediately
the
go into
actual
the
game prologue is 15. He's 15. He's 28 for the majority of the game, and then 33 for the remainder.
God, I love 16. It's so good.
that didn't happen.
Such a good game.
Well,
I still need to buy and play the DLC because I was
Yeah, I
waiting
need to
until the
play the
second one came
Leviathan.
out.
well, that happened. Anyway,
It do be
Um,
awful.
well, that happened.
What the
Uh,
fuck? Jesus. I guess Clive's also like over 6 feet tall.
Fuck yeah, dude.
He's
He's
over.
a tall ass
Clive?
motherfucker.
Yeah, Clive is fucking amazing.
over
Now I'm
six-
curious, who's the tallest out of all?
I think Sid is taller than Clive. I could be wrong though.
No, I was gonna
He's
look
got-
at all the
he's
Final
got tall
Fantasy
energy.
antagonists. Like
You know,
all the
I-
tall characters.
I've got two things
Lightning
going
doesn't
for
have
me.
like an official height.
In terms of height, I've got two things going for me, which is one that I'm fat, so people notice I'm fat before
Penis
I'm
height?
short, and then the other thing, yeah, penis height. And the other thing is that I give off tall energy, because I was out with Sergio again. I've known Sergio for like nigh on a decade now, and we were at a bar and we were talking. For some reason, height came up, and I was like, "Dude, you're taller than me," and he's like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, I'm 5'6". He's like, "No, you're not. I'm 5'7". I was like, "Yeah, you're taller than me." He's like, "Stand up." And he was an inch taller than me. And I was like, "Yeah, you're taller than me. I just don't walk around like a short bitch." Like, and also people notice my wideness
Yeah.
before they notice my height. It's just
You
a
know what's
curse. It's a
funny
fat
about
thing.
like looking at the heights for all these characters? I swear they're just like that they don't put any thought into this
No.
at all.
No.
Yeah, you have to go by the ultimate.
Because-
and even then, like, it
Well,
doesn't
no,
matter.
like no, when they're deciding character heights, they just put no thought into it. Cause like half the characters are just 5'9", and the other half of the male characters are 5'8", and then every woman is 5'8". Like
Well,
every female main character.
Yeah, they really
like, out
don't
of the
think about it
main
because
cast, they're just like this one, This one, like,
Yeah, I think before 3D, it never really mattered.
Yeah, well,
Right?
likely
I mean,
because in Dissidia,
no.
it's like all these guys are not the same
and
fucking height.
even Final Fantasy 9, it didn't really matter because of the art style.
You know.
Because Zidana's the
But
shortest
it's just
person
kind
in
of
the
funny
entire
though
fucking
that
Dissidia cast.
you can see that they just were like, this
Well-
height for like all of the guys, just like because
Technically,
Cloud,
Shantoto's the shortest.
Cloud and Squall are the same height, but so's Titus,
I believe
so's
that. Main
so's
character height.
Noct,
Windows.
like
Generic main character height. I'm
just
not
like,
short, but I'm
Terra,
not tall either.
Yeah, Terra and Yuna are the same height. Or Lightning didn't have a height, so
Pretty
yeah.
much from how it looked in Dissidia, they all kind of were the same. All the women are actually the same height. That isn't Shantoto or Prish because they're short.
yeah. It's just kind of funny though that they're just like, yeah, whatever. We have to put a height in this thing, like in this stupid Ultimania.
Well, except for Ultimisia and Cloud of Darkness, they're apparently tall bitches.
Because like in the games, I don't think it matters because they'll just be like, okay, this character's taller than this character's shorter. Like,
Can this fight
but
end
they
already?
don't have to
Holy
numerically do
shit.
it.
This dungeon is so much easier as a tank, but it's still just as fucking tedious.
Which dungeon are you doing?
Tedious.
I'm not paying attention.
Tedious.
I'm not even paying attention. Which dungeon are you doing? Don't tell me. Oh, it's fucking Quintana Ravel.
Tidiouses.
Quintana Ravel takes forever.
Yeah.
Are you doing it with randos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Random.
They should. Okay, whoever are they? Is it some of their first time or something? Because it shouldn't be taking this long. I mean, the device is almost
23
dead,
minutes. Yeah, it's a long time.
Did you big pull? Did you big pull everything?
Yeah, I big pulled. Like the healer was great. I think it is a new person here. Oh, the Reaper Scythe. The Reaper Scythe here is cool. I hope I can get it.
I have the Reaper Scythe from here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Of course
You
you
can
do.
read it.
I'm a loot gremlin, Scott. I just collect loot whatever it drops in front of my face.
I didn't get it.
Yeah,
because there was one
I
guy
know
who
that-
didn't understand the mechanics of the first enemy, and that's like one of the easier.
Yeah, because you
ones
have
in
a monk
this
and a
dungeon.
red mage. It should not be this diff. Even at this level, it shouldn't be that hard for them to do damage. So they
It's
most
gotta
likely
be
suck.
new people.
But they
You know what? I can guarantee you one of them was new or not. Let me go to my book, and if I got a point, then they're new. Yeah, I got a point. They're new. Well, at least one of them was new. Okay. It's past 1 o'clock. I wanted to stop streaming in a half an hour ago because I'm hungry. So we're gonna end now because I'm hungry.
Yeah, but I figured out
yeah.
what I was thinking about the ages. I was thinking about Tales of characters. Most of the Tales of characters are fucking barely any of the main. None of the main characters until fucking like. Wanna say, but yeah, Vesperia are all of them are under the age of 20.
Yeah, I can't. I've only played like 2 of those games.
I-
I've completed 2 of those
Yuri
games.
Lowell is the first because even like
Don't worry,
even the
Omni. We'll
thing,
just do a bunch for Game Club.
Yuri Lowell fucking is the
I'll
first
probably have to
protagonist
do
over the
Dragon
age of
Quest
20.
before I do Tales.
Now that once we finish Final Fantasy, we can start working on those.
No, we're gonna take a hard turn from our audience. We're gonna play all the CODs. Every Medal of Honor. We're gonna make it even harder on ourselves to find those fucking games. I don't even know when the first Medal of Honor, what console it came out on.
PlayStation 1, I think.
Who knows? We gotta get the VR one.
We're not playing Medal. Omni, we're not playing Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor franchise.
No, silly. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna play fucking what's it called? We're gonna take a complete opposite turn. Yes, but we're not gonna play that. We're all gonna play fucking
You're right. We're gonna play the Just Dance franchise, every single one.
No.
Beginning to finish.
No, I was about to say
God.
no. We're gonna play every Crash Bandicoot game, every single one of them, even the bad ones. Or we're gonna play all the Spyro games, including the 2 times Spyro got remade. Then we're gonna have to all buy Skylanders.
Look, I can't speak for you when you were a child, but if like gun to my head, I don't think you could tough out the entire Crash Bandicoot franchise.
Oh no, I could.
I
would not be able to
played
100% that. I could play through
I
it,
played-
100%ing that. Fuck that shit.
I played through 4 on stream, and that was a chore. That was a bit of a challenge at the end. I don't know if you could do it, my friend.
I've
Like,
beaten
every
the-
single Crash
I've
Bandicoot.
beaten
I know when
one-
you were
I've beaten
younger.
all
I'm
of
talking
them.
about you today, you now.
I've
With the time
I've
constraints that you
replayed.
have
I've
and
played the remakes of them. I beat the
Yeah, I
remakes.
know that 1 through 3 is not that bad.
1, 2, 3 is
I don't-
fine, but you know,
I don't
the,
believe you, Julian.
I'm talking
I don't
about
believe you.
I'm talking about playing through Wrath of Cortex and Crash of the Titans and shit.
Yeah. I don't know if you could make it, Julian.
Oh no,
Be
I
very
wouldn't be able
honest.
to. Oh, my sanity would go insane because Crash of the Titans is awful.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta end stream. So, thank you for the game club. We're gonna play Final Fantasy V for the May game club. I'll be back on Oh, actually, I might not be back on Saturday. I think Backlash is Saturday, so I might be streaming that in the Discord if anybody wants to join in.
Oh, I'm actually off on Sunday, so I probably can join.
And
I don't remember what I worked this weekend.
If I do play on Saturday, it'll probably be more Final Fantasy 14, and then I'll be back next Wednesday. Wait, what's next Wednesday? Is it my? Okay, yeah, my brother's birthday's on the 7th, and my birthday's on the 12th, so that shouldn't affect streams. Then yeah, join the Discord, follow socials, all that, and have a good night. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh yeah, everybody get out. We love you. Bye. LGG will be back
From my
later.
stream.
Fucking more shit. Bye.